Wrestling fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
And now, please welcome at this time your hosts, Graham GSM Matthews and RJ Marceau. You're listening to the next era of wrestling radio. This is WrestleRant Radio.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WrestleRant Radio here today on a rare Friday for April 24th, 2026. I am Graham G.S. Matthews, as always, being joined by the one, the only, the illustrious Mr. Marceau. Brother, what's going on?
I'm doing good. How are you? You look a little jet lagged still.
I am still a little jet lagged. I am on West Coast time still. I can't say the same for you. You're basically John Cena here. Mr. Marceau is joining us. We can't see him, but he is always joining us in spirit. I say that as if you're dead. But we had some... If you haven't already, go back and check out last week's episode. We had some technical difficulties, but it was a wild and absolutely wild time. And it was a WrestleMania prediction panel, but we spent a majority of the time talking Darby Allin winning the AEW World Championship, but more so Cameron and Jey Uso's beef on Cameron's show. And I still don't fully know who Cameron is, but I had texted you, someone who had listened to the show, shout out to Brandon, who had texted me saying, hey, here's who Cameron is and what he's all about. He was big in the 90s and the 2000s, blah, blah, blah. Still didn't ring any bells for me or for you, but he kind of gave me some background knowledge. But I was also in an Uber last Friday night, or last Thursday, I think, after we spoke, and we were talking about music. And it said, hey, quick question for you. Have you ever heard of Cameron by any chance? And he had music on from like the 90s and 2000s. And he goes, I've never fucking heard of that guy in my life. So I said, okay, so it's not just us. Have you done any additional research since last week, Mr. Marceau, on Cameron?
I mean, besides the two songs we discussed last week, I'm not that familiar with him. Like I said, more of a Jewel Santana, the whistle song kind of guy. But I mean, I guess nothing really came out of that whole Cameron Jey Uso thing anyway, so that was kind of just bizarre. But I mean, here we are.
Yeah, no, actually, so yes and no. Nothing came out of it on WrestleMania, but I saw Cameron, a clip of him going around. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly, but I'm pretty sure it's Cameron. I think there was a clip of him responding to Jay, inviting him either back on the show or challenging him to maybe a match or something. I fucking hope that would lead nowhere, but that was the update on the Cameron situation. I still have yet to kind of go further into the Cameron catalog and listen more to Hey Ma, and is he on the Whistle song, or is the people in his band in the Whistle song?
It's a group. It's not a band per se.
Yeah.
Jewel Santana's in his group, and he sings the Whistle song.
Okay, so Santana I'm familiar with because of that song. Jim Jones, someone also brought up Jim Jones that I was around recently, and they said, hey, was he with like Cameron? And they said, yeah. So I said, okay, I know who Jim Jones is now. I'm still kind of brushing up on my Cameron knowledge, but maybe we'll find out more about that as time goes on. But hope you guys are doing well. We are in the wake of WrestleMania 42, which we will be reviewing here today. But before we go any further, Mr. Marceau, the biggest news of the week was not WrestleMania. It was not even Raw on Monday, the post-WrestleMania Raw. It was what we typically do a preview for if we usually do the show on Thursdays, but we're talking today instead, so it's in the aftermath of it. The NFL Draft 2026, brother. Give me the rundown. What were your thoughts in last night's NFL Draft?
Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty good. They did it in Pittsburgh this year. I think they're giving the wrestling writers a run. They said allegedly 300,000 people were in attendance. I mean,
what?
Looked like a lot of people. I think 300,000 is a little steep. I mean, I don't know how 300,000 people even get there. I mean, I guess they're all just standing in like an open parking lot, but like, 300,000 people, that's a lot of people. But no, I think overall it was a good first night. I feel like the NFL just always knows how to grab headlines. So good start. Like I said, I want those numbers fact checked. They just seem incorrect, but we'll let it slide. And then, of course, like middle of it, they're already announcing like a television it's not spin-off, but like a television airing of when they do like when the schedule comes out, they do like a whole TV like announcement. So they just always grab headlines, and started with the draft last night. Be the schedule come out in a couple weeks. It just never ends. They just always have to be somewhere going. Something's always got to be going on with the NFL.
That attendance number sounds like the WrestleMania 3 of the NFL draft. I mean, that sounds completely ridiculous for 300,000 people to be there. That sounds like a Meltzer report, but no, that's crazy. I know we talked about it in years past, obviously, but haven't they typically done it at the same place in Florida every year in Miami, right? Or no?
They used to always do it at Radio City Music Hall in New York.
New York, okay.
And I would say within the last 10 years, they've changed. I think since COVID, every year they've changed where it is. So
it's like a tourist thing, so people can go and
correct. They bring it to different cities every year. I think last year was at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, I believe, and then this year it's in Pittsburgh, or maybe it was in Cleveland. They've changed every year so far. So
I'm surprised.
Waiting for them to come to Boston. It hasn't happened yet.
No, I mean that would be cool if they went to Boston. Would you definitely go if they went to Boston?
Yes.
That'd be sick. Do you have to buy a ticket to go, or can you just show up?
That's a good question. I think you can just show up.
Yeah, I mean, you said a parking lot, so that kind of makes sense.
I mean, I'm assuming if they had it in Boston, they just have it like at Gillette Stadium. So yeah, I think it'd just be a lot easier.
No, that would be awesome. But yeah, does the NFL draft continue tonight or right? It's
tonight and tomorrow.
Was anyone from the Dogs picked up?
One guy.
Were you excited about
Ohio State? Ohio State was the big winner last night.
All right. I have to kind of check up on my NFL draft coverage as we go along a little bit later on today. I didn't see a whole lot of it on my timeline last night, but I also wasn't actively going out of my way for it. My excuse was, as I told you, I'm still on West Coast time, so I missed it by 3 hours. So, that was my bad. Next year, I'll be better about it, and I'll have my picks and predictions ready for next year's NFL draft. But before we go forward here and before I throw the chat up on the screen, just want to mention a few things. New episodes of WrestleRant Radio, typically every Thursday on WrestleRant.com, WrestleRantRadio.com, all major podcast platforms, and right here on the YouTube channel as well. Want to shout out the channel members, Alexis, Miss Bond Matthews, Dylan Giacomo, Mrs. Bernay, Daniel Malcolm at I'm Quarter on X, DJ Swerve1 at Swerve1 on IG, Mr. Marceau himself at RJ_Marceau on X, John Ritland, Real Honesty with John Ritland on YouTube, Richie Red Planet Wrestling on YouTube, and Average Grunt at gruntwrestling.bluesky.social on Blue Sky. More information down below. If you are watching live or after the fact, be sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications for every time we're live here for WrestleRant Radio every single week. So just give me 1 second here and see what you guys are saying as we get going with the chat. I saw a few different people joining us. Let me see here. Nathaniel, what's going on, brother? We'll talk about a lot of this stuff you guys are probably going to bring up as we go through WrestleMania, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But he was asking about Paige. We'll get to that later. He was asking about, talking about the draft. He said, did you guys see the Rams draft a QB yesterday? And the Seahawks took a running back in the draft. Did you see the Rams draft pick, Mr. Marceau?
Yeah, they picked Ty Simpson from Alabama.
Okay. Do you think that increases the Rams' chances of winning the Super Bowl or getting close to the Super Bowl next year?
I mean, I think it's more of a future move. I mean, they still have Matt Stafford, who just won the MVP. So,
yeah.
I think it's more of like they're looking down the line. I mean, I think they just like the quarterback. I think he'll just sit this year. Stafford will be the guy. I think Stafford's a free agent after next year. So, he's also like 38, 39 years old. So,
yeah.
I think, pick him. They clearly like him enough. They picked him that early, and he'll probably sit behind Matt Stafford for the season, which I think is a good move.
No, that makes sense. That's typically the biggest benefit of the draft, right? As far as like not stacking your team for the upcoming season, but kind of just more so for future prospects.
Yeah, depending on where you are, like the Rams are usually pretty good. So like they traded their pick last year to the Falcons, and the Falcons traded their pick for this year, and the Falcons weren't as good.
Mm-hmm.
So like their pick was like in the mid-teens, which the Rams usually never pick because usually they're always in the playoffs. So they had a earlier picks that I think they just figured when's the chances the chance of us being this low are probably not that high. So while we're here, we might as well pick a quarterback that maybe once Stafford's gone, he can just kind of step right in and we can keep winning and being a good team.
No, that makes sense. Shannon Sharp wasn't drafted. I know he's not active. I just kid. I just wanted to.
Nope, did not see Shannon Sharp.
No Shannon Sharp appearances in the draft this year. I ran into him with that Netflix thing. I texted Mr. Marceau the picture the other day, which was incredibly fucking random, but he was cool, though, for the quick second I chatted with him. Eric said, did y'all hear the old sports reporter say that if you watch wrestling, you're weird as a grown-up? Did you see that whole thing? I don't even know who that guy is.
I don't know who you were talking about. I mean, we're all weird. Technically, we're all weird in our own shapes and sizes. So I mean, I don't really take offense to that. I mean, I accept it at this point, but I did not see that.
Okay, I guess if you didn't see it, it must not have been as big of a deal. But I had seen it on my timeline. I forgot what the name of the guy. It wasn't anyone like a Colin Cowherd. Like, it wasn't anyone like that. It was a name I've never heard of personally. Eric, what's going on, brother? No. Cena and Danhausen versus Miz and Wilson? No, Cena's not wrestling again, so absolutely
No,
not.
thank you.
Yeah. King Gaza, what's going on, brother? I think Oba dethrones Gunther after Gunther dethrones Roman at SummerSlam. Interesting prediction. We'll get to Oba in a little while. The guy's talking about the Michael Jackson movie. Any interest, Mr. Marceau, in seeing the new Michael Jackson movie?
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. I saw. We were actually talking about it at work yesterday, and a couple people were like, "Oh, I heard it was bad." I'm like, I don't really know how.
I mean, hear that too. Yeah.
Some people are like, "Well, they didn't talk about like the molestation stuff." I'm like, but they're not gonna. I mean,
yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it looked pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
I guess it's maybe that's more like a wait and if it's on like a streaming service watch. But I don't know. I thought it looks. I mean, I thought they looked pretty good at least, like the actual like video and like the picture and shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. It looked cool to me. It looked like a good movie. I really liked Bohemian Rhapsody. That was one of those movies that was about I forgot the guy's name.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury. Thank you. That was a really good movie, I thought. This looked good too. I did hear those initial like negative reviews, and I mean, I'm kind of curious because the Freddie Mercury one, I don't think that was about his entire life. It might have just been about like a certain section of his life. Like they're not doing a full biopic or biopic, whatever. Yeah. So. I mean, the like with the Michael Jackson one, we haven't seen it, so I don't know. But is it fully going to cover like the later years of his life, where he kind of like went weird and stuff? Like I would highly doubt that, right?
From what I saw, it looked like older Michael Jackson, like when he was younger.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's probably going to hit like I mean, I want to say the high notes, but like it looked like more like the Beat It time frame. So I don't know what's that like early '80s, like I don't know. That's from what I saw. I feel like that's. The trailer I saw, that was kind of like the age range he was in, like when Beat It, like Thriller, all those like big hits came out. Like I said, I highly doubt they're going to go through his entire life, but I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see. It actually would rather know less, so I kind of go into it with an open mind. But yeah, I don't really see them covering that later stuff. Maybe they should have. I don't know, but it's kind of the same complaints I saw. Not the same thing, but when Iron Claw came out, they left out. Like I agree, they left out an entire brother's existence. But there's only so much death you can put in one movie, and the movie ended up being amazing anyway. You have to think of
I mean, the thing is, like, I feel like you said, well, that is, I mean,
that's a big deal.
But like, it's also a true story. So you're like, I feel like they had it. You probably should have put that in. I know, like, it's not like a wrestling historical movie. It's more about the whole family. But like, even like someone that's not like deep on the Von Erichs, like their timeline was all over the place. Like, obviously, like I said, not a lot of people, like your casual person has no idea. But like even me with like my small, somewhat knowledge of their like run and stuff, they had like David died and like Kerry like got like they said like Kerry already had the car accident. Like he won the title before he had the car accident. Then like he was in WWE instantly, and like Mike was there, and like I don't know, the time frame was all over the place. That was like my biggest complaint, but like I also knew at the end of the day it's not like a historical, like you said, it's not like a full biopic that they're gonna go time by time by time.
Yeah, no, they're just going for like what makes for the best movie. I totally get it. I understand the criticisms of that, and I totally understand why people would take offense to that or be bothered by it or whatever. But I'm just thinking what would make. I mean, as far as why they would switch up the timeline, I don't know. Maybe they thought it would make for a cleaner, less confusing movie. I'm not really sure why they did that specifically, but it still turned out to be a great movie. And I guess it's like. It is a true story, but I think that's why they put at the beginning of all these sort of movies, it's based on a true story. So it's like we don't have to honor every single thing that happened in their lives or stay true to the facts completely. We can kind of take the facts and kind of like juggle with them a little bit. So that's probably what they're doing with the Michael Jackson one, but I'd have to check it out. Yeah, Johnny even said that it's 40% with critics and probably in Rotten Tomatoes, but 96% with fans. So that's a pretty big difference. That's the case with a lot of movies, though, where like the critics think it's crap, but people love the movie. I mean, that happens a lot. So honestly, that being said, it's probably a really good movie. Noob, what's going on, brother? And Nathaniel said, I think Paige signed a multi-year contract. Yes, she definitely did. We'll talk about her in a little while. Johnny said, did you buy your season passes to the NFL games, the season passes? I did not. Grant did. Mr. Marceau, have you picked up your season passes yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Johnny said, lawsuit and agreement stopped the movie from touching the cases. Oh, okay, well, there you go with Michael Jackson. That's interesting. And Johnny also said it stops in 1989 after the release of the Bad album.
Oh, so the movie's amazing, man.
Yeah, so they don't cover anything after that, which, again, I'm not like I'm massive Michael Jackson fan, so it's probably the peak of his popularity, like the high notes.
That's literally between Beat It and Thriller, and then Bad is like the peak of his singing.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they cover like his personal issues, maybe not later on in his life, but at least at that point, I'm sure they cover it to a certain extent. But yeah, I mean that's kind of what I figured the movie would be, to be honest with you. And yes, Nathaniel, I am excited for Double or Nothing. I'm looking forward to it. They announced Okada and Takeshita, I think, last week, and they just are doing as well Copeland and Christian versus FTR again for the AEW World Tag Team title. So only 2 matches announced, but I am looking forward to it. Probably MJF and Darby Allin as well for the AEW World Championship. They haven't announced that yet, but just kind of, simple speculation. That's probably what's going to happen. But enough about AEW for today. We got a lot of WWE stuff to get to from WrestleMania specifically. We will go match by match here and spend a little bit of time on each one, Mr. Marceau. But before we get going here, I guess just kind of open up your general impressions of the pay-per-view. And I think we were kind of in line with what we thought of it. And I think your opinion honestly holds more weight than mine, because I was there. Oh. So and I say that because I was there, so I didn't really deal with the commercials and shit. You did, and you still ended up liking most of night one. I'm not saying people were wrong for thinking night one was garbage, but I thought overall the 2 nights were good, and night one wasn't really as terrible as people thought it was. But I'm curious to get your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I thought, it's I understand people's complaint with the commercials just because, obviously it's a lot more than, what we're used to, but, I guess I watch sports all the time, so obviously wrestling for the long time didn't have commercials, but at this point I feel like I'm just immune to it. I watched the draft last night, and between every pick they would go to commercial. It'd be a 1 to 2 minute commercial. And it's they're just at that point just dragging it out. It's yeah, these commercials were annoying, but I don't know, it was what it was, and people are oh, there's more commercials than the matches and stuff like that, but it kind of is what it is. Unfortunately, with this new ESPN era, we're gonna get commercials, and you kind of just have to deal with it. I don't know. That's kind of my mindset. So I think people just took the commercials and then just well, there's so many commercials, and then complaining that the matches weren't long enough, and they kind of just balled that all up into their frustration with the show. Like you said, I think the matches itself, I don't think the matches were they the greatest matches I've ever seen? No. Mm-hmm. Did I expect them to be the greatest matches I've ever seen? No. But I thought, for what we got, I thought they all were fine. We did touch upon this a few weeks ago, and I think they kind of hit the high note of what I was talking about with we need to resolve the finish problem. And I feel besides the main event matches on this show, finisher hit, 1, 2, 3, and the match was over. And I think from a viewership, just watching on TV, I don't know what it was like in person. Yeah, the crowd did feel a little flat because I don't think they're conditioned. They're conditioned for the kick out. They're conditioned for the 2 counts. This show wasn't that. That person hit their finisher besides the main event. The match was over. And that's what we saw here. Becky Lynch, looking at it here, Becky Lynch hit 1-man handle slam, 1, 2, 3. LA Knight hit Austin Theory, BFT, 1, 2, 3, won the match. Gunther put him in a sleeper, 1, 2, 3, won the match. Liv Morgan, Oblivion, 1, 2, 3. They were not conditioned at this point to realize that they hit a finish and it's over. And I feel that's what we got in the show. And I think people were just frustrated that the matches weren't longer, which I know a lot, for WrestleMania, maybe you're expecting more, but I don't know. I don't think every match also needs to be over 10 minutes. Most of these matches were in the 8 to 10 minute range. And I thought they were needed, maybe give it a couple more minutes, maybe it would have felt a little bit more, but also, like I said, I think when they hit the finish and it's 1, 2, 3, the crowd's not popping because they expect the kick out, which they weren't getting. But overall, I thought the right people won. Yeah. And I think that's all you can like I said, I didn't expect most of these matches to be barn burners, but I thought at the end of the day, the right people, besides the main event, I thought everyone that won was the right probably who we even picked or thought was going to win, and not we're that we don't want them to win. I feel that's who we thought should have won.
Yeah, no, I think the outcomes were the best part of the show. I had no issues with any of most of the outcomes. There were some I was I wouldn't have done that, but we'll talk about that later as we go through here. The commercial stuff I totally understand for most people and why it took away from people's investment or enjoyment of the show. There's just fucking too many of them. I completely understand and agree with what you're saying about sports. I think that's more applicable to like Raw and SmackDown because they air on TV. My big thing has always been that, like with the draft, for example, that's on TV, so it makes sense. Way too fucking many commercials, but that's been the case like forever, like you said. But this stuff like the WWE PLEs or pay-per-views, what have you, they're on pay-per-view. Like we all grew up in an era where they were on pay-per-view or even on the network, and we didn't have commercials that were like, again, a 30-second commercial is one thing. We have commercial breaks in between each match that are like 4 or 5 minutes long. Mm-hmm. And then you add in the super long entrances where they're a little bit longer than they're given like a 5-minute entrance to like Pat McAfee, for example. Like I had seen the stats of like, oh, the amount of entrance time and, you know, that's been the case with WrestleMania for decades. So that's not exactly my problem. You know, people had said, we'll get into it, like the Knight and Usos versus I Show Speed and Vision match. That was a throwaway match. Bro, I just recently rewatched WrestleMania 17. Are you going to tell me that fucking Right to Censor versus APA and Taz was some great 6-man? No, it was a regular TV 6. It was the same fucking thing from 25 years ago. But I think it's a hot topic where it's like, oh, every match needs to go 15, 20 minutes. I think there's a happy medium because we talked about this with AEW before. A lot of their matches go, on average, 20 minutes, which is too long for a lot of these undercard fucking matches. I think, you know, Liv Morgan and Stephanie should have gotten more than 7 or 8 minutes. I thought that was egregious. I thought what we got was good, but it definitely could have been better. I do agree with the finishes. I think they did very well with, like, you know, cutting that stuff short and not doing a million finishes. They did in the main events, which was fine. You kind of expect that, but my issue with night 1, as far as the finishes were concerned, Gunther Rollins, we had a run-in from Breaker. That's exactly what we knew was going to happen. We talked about that. I still don't like it. I wish they had just saved Breaker for like the next day or Monday rather, because it's like, I don't know, just give Gunther the clean win. I thought that was kind of lazy. And the spear from Breaker, I think it came better. It came across better in person because when they showed it on TV, it didn't look like he barely even grazed the guy. So it didn't look great. But what was the other thing I was going to say? Just with the match times, they need to go a little bit longer. But like the common word that people were using was soulless and corporate. I do agree with the corporate part, and WrestleMania has gotten to a point where it does feel a bit soulless. But I feel like that's an issue they have to rectify going forward. I don't think they're going to do less commercials, but I feel like they do have to structure these shows a bit better where they can give the matches a bit more time without giving them 30 minutes each. And I think in some of these matches as well, as far as the finishes are concerned, they had a lot of people stealing the other person's finisher. I think they did that in Becky AJ. They did it in Cody and Randy. And Liv and Stephanie. There was at least one match, another match, where they stole each other's finishers. But I think that's stuff they can work on going forward. And I think they did for night 2 to make that night better. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, like when you say soulless, like give me like what does that mean? Like I feel like it's such a it's a big term. Like
yeah.
When you say it's soulless, what do you mean from saying that?
So me personally, I don't know because I'm not going to sit here and say I thought it was a soulless show. I think that was the buzzword over the weekend. It was a very soulless night 1 WrestleMania. By that, what I think people mean is that it's a lot more corporate now. Because even Ariel Helwani said the same thing. It's not just me saying it, Sports Illustrated, Bleach Report, like Becky said. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but like I said before, he started getting kind of bad faith territory for me. So
yeah. Like
even with this MMA stuff, like he's starting to work for like the Jake Paul stuff. So like he kind of like pushes that a little bit more and like bashes on UFC a little bit more. Like, just like I said, he sent you that clip. He was talking to Rick. Like, why are you talking to Ric Flair? Like, who cares?
And that interview was crazy.
By the way, didn't like those daughters in 4-way. Who gives a shit? Like, why are you talking to Ric Flair? Like, they're just like it's just buzz to get buzz, and it's just like I said, I feel like in a sense, it's like bad faith.
Yeah. Don't be giving people like that a platform. Like, what is Ric Flair? What is he promoting that's so important? You need to have. I mean, I'm sure he's talked to Ric Flair before too. That interview was crazy. He said a lot of dumb shit. Don't even give the guy the platform, but.
Yeah, no, it definitely is more corporate. I mean, like you said, with the commercials, the fucking every time I had a commercial, every match is like presented by insert company, stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like I said, I think in ring wise, like, was it the greatest matches I've ever seen? No. But like you said, if the Usos and LA Knight weren't on the show, how many people would be bitching, complaining? Oh my God, why are they not on the show? Like. So, like, you got a 6-man match. Like you said, besides I Show Speed being a celebrity, this was a Raw match all day.
Yeah.
But, like, they were on the show, and you got to see them. If they weren't on the show, people would complain. It's like, you got to you can't have it both ways. You can't complain they're not on the show, and then they're on the show and complain like, oh, well, it's just kind of a throwaway. Like, well, it's one or the other. Like, it can't be both.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just kind of curious because he had also said, and other people had said the same, but I specifically saw this from Ariel Helwani, who had said, yeah, it just doesn't feel like, because it's soulless, it doesn't feel like WrestleMania anymore. And I'm just kind of curious, and I'm not even bashing his opinion, I'm just wondering, what to you makes WrestleMania? Is it the build? Is it the fact that you're not excited for it? That's understandable because the build was definitely inconsistent. I'm a mark at the end of the day, so whether I'm there or not, I will, like, even next year, I'll probably still be excited for Mania, even though it's in fucking Saudi Arabia. I think that's garbage, but it is what it is. I will still be excited for it, but if you weren't excited for it, I get it. But, like, if you don't do, so like, for example, a lot of time are spent on the entrances. At Elimination Chamber, I think that was stupid. Like, Javon Evans, who I love, was walking out there for like 8 minutes. Like, what are we doing here? This is crazy. But at WrestleMania, I expect that sort of thing. So if they had these people just walk right down to the ring, like Trick Williams got a very elaborate entrance. The Usos got to walk through the crowd. LA Knight came out in a fucking truck. Liv Morgan had her elaborate, her music video entrance, and the song itself is debatable how good it is, but I thought her entrance honestly was really, really cool. We had a lot of great entrances on the show. Cody's entrance I thought was awesome on night one. That to me, like the pageantry might be the right word for it. I think that to me is what makes WrestleMania, like the over-the-top pyrotechnics and the entrances and yeah, the matches, and we got some great matches across night one and night two. Some matches were basic. I would have liked to see some of these matches get a bit more time, but then also people are complaining, one of my main complaints was, why don't we get more matches? Well, guess what, Mr. Marceau? If we have more matches, these matches are going to get even less time. So I'm kind of curious what people are looking for here.
No, I agree. Like I said, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it's just I don't know if people just don't have like their own opinions or like they just like jump on other people's opinions. But it's like I see one person be like, "Oh, this show sucks," and it's like everyone else just piling on. Like I said, did I think it was the greatest night ever? No, but I also don't think it was the worst thing. Like people are like the worst show I've ever seen, like the worst terrible WrestleMania. But I'm like, was it like? It was fine. I know like everything has to be the worst or the best, but like. There were some good matches. There were some good moments. Some of the matches probably could have gone a little bit longer, but like I wasn't like this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Like I'm not going that far.
No, I agree with that. It was funny because I didn't really look at my timeline for most of night one, and I thought it was a good show for the most part. The main event was a fucking mess, and usually the main event with these shows is what makes or breaks these pay-per-views. Night one, night two, single night events, whatever. And I could see why people would not look back on night one fondly because that main event was awful. Same thing with night two last year. I thought night two last year was overall pretty good up until that terrible Cody Cena match. But still, I thought most of the show was good. And then I looked on my timeline. I think you were actually the one that told me, hey, people thought it sucked. I'm like, I'm very curious what people thought was terrible about the show outside of the messy main event. And Johnny did say it's WrestleMania in name only nowadays. And besides specialty matches, every PLE is the same. I do agree with that in the sense that, and it's a Mania issue, but it's also because they go all out for every other fucking show now. Clash in Paris feels like a big deal because you're also running stadiums with this stuff and you get hot crowds in almost every show. Not every crowd is hot. Like Chicago wasn't overly hot for Chamber, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's not really a Mania problem, but it's because, SummerSlam's 2 nights now and the Rumble's got to be in a massive stadium. It does, by comparison, make Mania less special. But I think that has less to do with Mania itself. Does that make sense?
No, yeah. I mean, like you said, I feel like the pageantry around it's like the same. Like you said, before WrestleMania was like more special because it was like the only stadium show they do. Or if they did it in a stadium, it was like SummerSlam, but that was kind of more of a one-off. But like, I don't know. I also feel like sometimes with other shows, depending on where they go, like sometimes the arena show is more intimate and it's like, you're getting more of like the diehard fan with like WrestleMania. Maybe you are getting more of like a corporate casual environment. Like, I don't know, you go back to some of the older arena shows, like the crowds are like white hot. Like when we went to Elimination Chamber in Montreal, like that was probably like one of the hottest crowds I've been to. And I've been to plenty of WrestleManias, but like it was very intimate and like a lot of people are there. Like they're like, I don't know, I just feel like the arenas now, you don't get as many arena shows. Like you said, like Clash of Paris is big and they do 2 nights of SummerSlam and Royal Rumble. Like, they're all in big arenas. Like, it doesn't feel as special when Mania is also held in an arena. Like, it feels the exact same.
No, I completely agree. That's something I'm not going to say run less stadium shows because if they're making money off and they pack these places, then more power to them. I mean, obviously lower the ticket prices. We've talked about that a million times. Less commercials, but like, or at least do it more. I don't know. There's got to be a way to do it more, do it better than they have. There's just too fucking many of them. It didn't ruin the show for me. Again, I was there, so it was a different experience. But I don't know. I mean, even the crowd. So like, we talked a lot about the ticket sales coming into the show. I'm not going to say the show is a rousing success, but it looked pretty full. As far as the crowd was concerned, I think they said they had 50,000 night 1, 55 night 2. And I think those were legit shoot numbers. I don't think those were made up. Like, usually they add on people. According to WrestleTix, I think they were real, but I could be mistaken. Did the crowd come across well both nights? Because to me, they sounded good, but you might think, oh, because they're catering to the casual fans, now they're quiet. Yeah, 9 out of 10 WWE shows, that's the case. But with WrestleMania, it didn't really sound that way to me at all.
Well, I felt like the crowd seemed pretty flat, at least for night 1.
Right.
Night 1, I felt like they were pretty flat. Night 2, I feel like you felt it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like night 2, they kind of, they do this every year now, or every time they do 2 nights. I feel like the first night, outside of like the main event and maybe one other matches, they're kind of like, not the throwaway match, but like they're not as important. Yeah. The second night, I feel like are the ones that like people are really looking forward to. I think just looking at the card alone, night 2 was definitely more stacked and like must see or want. But I thought, like I said, I also feel like with the stadium, the projection of the audio can be a little off. Like, I don't know. I think the night 1 audience was like, Night 2, I feel like you kind of felt. I feel like they were kind of hanging on every move. Night 2, night 1, they were just kind of like sitting on their hands.
Do you think it was, in addition to what you just said, also a reason because night 2 felt a little bit bigger? I mean, you had Oba, Brock night 2, obviously Roman. Even Roman and Punk felt like a bigger deal than Cody and Randy, despite the build being messy for Cody. Randy, that was a big deal, but even Roman and Punk felt like a much bigger deal. You had the ladder match.
Yeah, you have like the ladder match, which people are going to fucking lap up. You could have put me, you, and everyone in the chat in a ladder match. They went crazy. Trick, obviously, super over. Demon Balor finally back, and people hate Dom, so the crowd was hot for that.
Rhea.
And then Rhea and Jade. Yeah. So, there was 6 matches alone. Like, there was something for each of those matches that people were very interested in.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think they just kind of stacked night 2 a bit more. And last thing here before we go into the matches, was there any reason, because night 2 ended so early, and I'm not saying, like, it's nice that the show ends early. I'm not going to complain about that. But night 1 went almost 4 hours, which is what I expect out of Mania, which is why it started at 6 p.m. Eastern. Night 2 ended at like 9:15. It was like a 3-hour and 15-minute show, and that was with a very long main event. You absolutely had fucking time to do Io Sky and Asuka, and they just opted not to. Can we just get that out of the way real quick? Because I'm like, there's no fucking reason why they could not have done that match.
Well, they're going to do it at Backlash.
Great, but it's like, I know, it's fucking great.
No, I like I said, I do wish it was, I do wish they had it at WrestleMania. I will say I did have to be at work for like 7 o'clock on Monday because it's Patriots Day in Massachusetts for the marathon. So I had to get up early to get to Boston early. So when it was over at like 9:15:30, I was pumped.
You were stoked, yeah. I'm not going to complain. Yeah.
I was so happy.
No, I like this. Hopefully they continue to start at 6 p.m. Eastern going forward. I was out of there because it was West Coast time, so the show ended for us at like fucking 6 o'clock, 6:30. I'm like, this is crazy. What am I doing with the rest of my day? But no, that was nice. I still don't know why they did not do it at WrestleMania. And it's not even like, we got to put the Kabuki Warriors in the tag title match. They fucking didn't. They figured something else out with that. So there really is no reason in retrospect. It's over now, so people won't talk about it, but it's worth bringing up that there was no reason to not do that match since they had 7 night 1 and 6 on night 2. But anyway, not much to say about this one, but LA Knight and the Usos knocking off ISHO Speed and the Vision. Honestly, more shocking than anything was the fact that LA Knight not only won, but he won for his team. That was shocking to me. The match was a few minutes long. It didn't need to be more than it was. It was a glorified Raw match, but I thought ISHO Speed did well. They had Logan Paul turn on him afterward. ISHO Speed did his big splash through the table on top of Logan. They got their viral moment out of it. I thought this was exactly what it needed to be. What were your thoughts?
Literally everything you just said. You can roll it all up, and then 7-minute match. Hit all the high points. I was stunned that LA Knight got the win, honestly. Yeah. That was one of the biggest takeaway. Speed gets turned on. They help him out. He hits the splash, hit the viral moment. Throw it on SportsCenter, and that's all. It was all. The thing is, at the end of it, it's all it needed to be. It didn't need to go longer. This is what it was, and it was fine. It was a fine match. You got the Usos and LA Knight on the card. Like I said, if they weren't on the card, people would complain. Yeah. They won, which made sense if they're gonna. If they ever gonna push LA Knight, I guess this is a start, and it is what it is. I thought it was fine.
No, I thought it was a good, enjoyable opener. It was exactly what it needed to be. Do you think this leads to ISHO Speed and Logan Paul at some point, or was that just a moment?
I think it was just a moment.
If they do the match, honestly, ISHO Speed has been impressive enough and entertaining enough. I will give him that credit, where I'd be okay with that. But, I mean, obviously, it's not a WrestleMania main event, but I could see them going back to it down the road. I would hope it's just a moment, but we'll see how they handle it going forward. What were your thoughts on Fatu and McIntyre? They had an unsanctioned match. To me, it was kind of just good. I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed it. Did it really need an unsanctioned stipulation, considering what they ended up doing? No, not really. I think this would have been one of those matches that could have benefited for more time. But at least Fatu won. That was the right outcome. What were your thoughts?
That was fine. Slow. Feel like they were just like everything took like an extra step, and I feel like it just maybe just felt like the crowd just kind of like was deflated at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just like for an unsanctioned, I feel like I feel like especially how this feud was built up, it was kind of the same with Stephanie and Liv. Like they kind of built it as like, no, I don't know if blood feud's the right word, but like this was a very like hatred rivalry. Like they were always attacking each other, and I felt like they were just like having a wrestling match with some plunder involved. So
yeah,
I think they like could have made it feel more like a hatred rivalry, like a more like heated back and forth. Like I said, they kind of just, it's just like we got just another match with some, they had to get the toolbox out there and the kendo sticks and the chairs. Like, I don't know, I feel like they took their time and it just felt like very blah to me. So
yeah.
Overall, I thought the right person won, but I could see why people were kind of down on it because they just felt like there was no urgency. It was just like another wrestling match, and they just threw the plunder in there, and then Jacob won, which is the right outcome, so I can't complain on that front. But overall, I thought I don't know, I feel like Rollins and Gunther felt more of like unsanctioned or feeling than this match did.
No, I would agree. I feel like the match was good, but I would agree that it was a tad underwhelming. Just considering every WWE street fight, no holds barred, unsanctioned, they all kind of have the same sort of feel to them where they're just a basic street fight. I feel like AEW goes too all out with them to the point where they don't feel special. And then WWE doesn't go all out with them enough to the point where they also don't feel special. So either just do less of them or try to make them more special. I don't know. I feel like doing less of them is also kind of part of the answer. When you do too many of them, they kind of all blend together. But at least the right person won. We had a surprise in the WWE Women's Tag Team title match. The Bella Twins, obviously, they did not compete as a team. Nikki Bella was indeed not cleared. I guess she found out she was not cleared a few weeks ago, but they kept it a surprise until Saturday. So rumor came out right after we spoke on Thursday, mere hours after we spoke, that Paige was set to return to WWE. This kind of came completely out of nowhere because I had mentioned her at the beginning of the year as someone I thought would be in the Rumble. I think that was one of my predictions. Excuse me. Obviously, she was not. And I think in retrospect, it worked out for the better because she would have been in Saudi. And, I mean, they probably would have gotten a good Brie Bella returned in Saudi at the Rumble. And I'm not the biggest Brie Bella fan, so I didn't really care that she was back. But I'm like, okay, maybe Paige will be back at some point. And we talked about it at the time. They don't need her. So I thought at the very least she'd be back for a one-off. It didn't happen. It didn't really seem like the company was interested. Not only did she return to WrestleMania, she's like back. She won here alongside Brie Bella. They captured the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. That surprised me even more. I mean, my pick was Bayley and Lyra. I was hoping they would win. They kind of got screwed over again. It's kind of the story of Bayley's career. But we do have new WWE Tag Team champions in Brie Bella and the returning Paige, who is apparently under a full-time deal at WWE, or at least under contract of some sort for the next few years. And she did tell Stephanie on her podcast a few days ago that when she's done with this contract or done with WWE, she's not wrestling after that. So she's not going back to AEW. She's not going to the Indies. This is probably it for her. So your thoughts on Paige being back in WWE, getting a great reaction and winning for her team and becoming one half of the new WWE Women's Tag Team champions?
Yeah, no, I thought, like you said, like you texted me, you're like, oh, are you live? And I was like, no, you're like, oh, someone's coming up. It's Molly watching. So I'm like, oh, maybe someone's coming back. Luckily, I didn't see any of the rumors or like the reports the day before. Cool. So I got lucky. I didn't see any of those the day before. So that was good. And then once I saw them come out, I saw Nikki with crutches. And luckily at that time, Molly she was hanging out with my sister, and then they came up together. Mm-hmm. And they were like,
perfect
timing. Is this the Bella Twins? I was like, yeah. And she's like, she saw the rumor, and I was like, oh, I think that's fake. And then she's like, is it Paige? I'm like, I don't know.
How did she see the rumor and you didn't? That's crazy.
And she was going crazy. She loves Paige. So definitely a big moment. Like you said, I'm assuming I mean, sucks for Lyra and Bailey. I feel like they were like kind of like the shoe in to win, and then obviously once Paige came back, I figured, I mean, they have to win at this point. But that was a good moment. But yeah, no, luckily I didn't see any of the reports. I mean, I saw people bashing like the Fightfuls and stuff like that, which I totally get. Like, we never hear any breaking news or any kind of like rumors like this for AEW, and they've had thousands of people return over the last couple of months. But of course, WWE has this big moment. Of course, it's getting leaked out a day or two before. So luckily I didn't see that, which was good. And for me especially, made the moment better because I didn't see any of the rumors.
I wish that was me. I wish I didn't see any of the rumors because it was literally spoiled the second it dropped on Twitter from PW Insider. I think it was PW Insider was the first to report it. And then I was at like one of those junket things, and then someone had said to me, "Oh, did you see the news?" I'm like, "Don't tell me. I'd rather just find out this weekend." Literally, I go walk away and I hear someone else talking about it. I'm like, "Well, I guess I can't fucking avoid it," because they were like, "Oh yeah, Paige is coming back." I'm like, "Okay, I guess I can't avoid that shit." So I was kind of pissed about that, but still a great moment. I was always a big Paige fan. Her AEW run kind of left a lot to be desired. That falls on her too. I mean, it's not like she went in there and had some great barn burner matches. She did win the women's title briefly in England, which was a great moment. That was kind of her peak in AEW, and then she's been out of wrestling since leaving there in early 2025, late 2024. So I'm glad she's back. For how long? I'm not sure. How they utilize her going forward, also, I'm not sure. But it kind of brings you back to that Divas era. We got the Bella Twins back, AJ Lee and Paige, kind of the best of that era, which is great. And they're all back in some form or fashion. So how do you utilize her going forward? Because if she was on her way back, I don't know if they just brought her back to be with the Bellas. I feel like she was probably going to come back regardless at some point anyway. I would not keep her with the Bellas long term. Once Nikki's good to go, I would have them turn on her and go have her be a baby. I don't know what the fucking Bellas are supposed to be. I thought they were heels and they were faces. I have no idea. But what would you do with Paige, kind of bigger picture here in WWE now that she's back?
It's a great question. I don't know what you really do. I think, like you said, I think obviously I'd keep her with Brie for now. Whenever Nikki's back, obviously I'd have them turn on her. Besides that, like you said, I think for me especially, I feel like for Paige, it was more like, it'd be nice to see her like a Rumble, a full-on run. I mean, I don't know, like, what do you really do with her? I mean, I think they have so many. I think they just have so much like younger, better potential women. I like Paige a lot, but like, I don't know, she shouldn't be taking spots away from other women that like are better than her currently and like have just a brighter future in general. Like, WWE always goes back to nostalgia and people love that shit. But it's like you have other people that like are in the like they're on the cusp of becoming like superstars, and you're just like, now you're gonna hold them back just to have Paige have one more run. I mean, I don't know. I hope it's nothing crazy. I don't think she's winning world titles or anything here, but I just feel like they weren't on Raw either, so I don't know what the exact plan is. But yeah, I mean, do the Bella Twin stuff for now, see what happens from there. But I'm not expecting like anything too crazy.
Yeah, so that was also. That kind of bothered me. The fact she won the tag titles is fine. It did bother me. They were on Raw, but they were in the crowd for literally like 10 seconds. They showed her and the Bella Twins with the tag titles, waved to the crowd, and that was it. I'm like, guys, this woman's been gone for almost a decade. She's been out of WWE. She has not wrestled in a WWE ring on television since fucking 2017. I know she was under contract up until 2022, and she made sporadic appearances during her time while retired, but for the most part, she has not wrestled for this company in a very long time. How do you not have her on the post-WrestleMania Raw cutting a promo? I know they packed a lot into that show, and it was a good Raw on Monday. It would have been nice to hear from Paige or advertise a promo from her on SmackDown. Maybe we will hear from her tonight.
I think there's a better chance to hear them on SmackDown. I mean, I'm assuming they're not in Vegas, so like, yeah, obviously Raw was in Vegas too, so maybe it's like, maybe they just want her first promo to be back somewhere like that's not in Vegas, because obviously she made a return to Vegas. They had her in Vegas on Raw, like she waved, maybe like just like in a new crowd, they'll probably get a bigger reaction just because they haven't seen her again. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I hope so. I hope they kind of give her the spotlight and they kind of listen. I know not everyone's the biggest Bella Twins fan. I think and I've said this before, I think how Nikki specifically has been utilized since she's been back. This is probably a hot take. Has actually been quite good. She was in the Royal Rumble last year, and then she disappeared until like around Evolution time. She had the alliance with Stephanie, which led to her turning on Stephanie, going heel, and Nikki Bella does her best work as a heel. And she kind of found her footing late last year. The matches with Stephanie were fine. The match with Becky, a lot of people did not like. I thought that was a fine feud, and the feud itself was great. The match was fine. I enjoyed it for what it was. And now she's been teaming with Brie, which also makes sense. So, I don't know. I feel like they found ways to utilize these women. AJ's run, I thought, was a lot of fun. I don't know if it's over or not. We'll get to that in a second, but I don't know. It's. I think Paige, hopefully they can find the right role for her. I mean, I don't really think she belongs in the tag division specifically. Fernando, what's going on, brother? He said, on that same subject, he said, RJ, should Paige, or Nathaniel asked this actually, should Paige win the Women's World Championship? And you just said no, right?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, so, I mean, can we find a middle ground here where I think she's above the tag division, but I also don't think could she challenge for a world championship? Sure. Do I think she should be a multi-time world champion? No, I think the division has kind of passed her by. I feel like there's far better women in that division now that are much better than her than what I saw from her in AEW, which is fine. I mean, she's just the best of that division from 10 plus years ago, but it's 2026. You have a lot of women that are coming up and already there that are better than she is. Can we come to a middle ground and say she could probably do well at like the mid-card level as like a women's IC or US champion at some point?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like I said, I don't think world titles, she should be winning world titles here.
No, I agree with that. Hopefully they give her some time to speak either tonight on SmackDown or Monday on Raw so she doesn't just, that was a great reaction. Even for everyone that knew, there were a lot of people that knew. I mean, word gets around at WrestleMania weekend, so a lot of people knew, but it was still a very special moment. I wish I didn't know, but that's just the nature of the internet, unfortunately. Daniel said, glad it wasn't me that spoiled something for me this time. Spoiled something for me specifically. Yes, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate you not spoiling that. But someone spoiled it for me literally minutes after it dropped. I was pissed, but there was no avoiding that, really. Fernando also asked, he asked about Io. We'll talk about her later. Fernando asked, RJ, what grade would you give the draft from last night?
I would say it was probably like a B, BA. I mean, it's not really hard to, there's really nothing to grade on. Like I said, honestly, they changed it up a little bit, so it's a little bit quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got in the bed at like 11. Usually the years before, it used to be 10-minute picks. Now they moved to 8 minutes.
Okay.
So honestly, I don't know, shaves some time off. It's usually about an hour. So usually I'm getting in bed at midnight. Last night was like 11. I'll take it all day.
Yeah, that's good. Thoughts on Make-A-Wish purchasing WrestleMania tickets, Johnny asked. I don't know what you're talking about, so I can't comment on that. I did see there was a fucking crypto.
The people need to stop going about this. Make-A-Wish buys tickets for any kid for any event.
Is this something that people are talking about?
Nick Khan had there's a ruling right now. It's called the Ali Act. It's something with boxing. Basically, I don't know the whole word on it, but basically TKO was trying to get around it. I don't know what the actual rule is. So yesterday he was in a court or a lawmaking thing discussing it, and then he was like, oh, WWE, we're publicly traded, so is TKO. Make-A-Wish buys tickets through us, and basically was they bought $2,500 worth of tickets for WrestleMania. But people are like, oh my God, these pieces of shit made them pay for tickets. If someone's Make-A-Wish is sending someone to a Taylor Swift concert, they're buying tickets to a Taylor Swift concert. If they're going to the Super Bowl, they're buying tickets to the Super Bowl. They're people why would they make them charge? It's a fucking charity. They pay, they're donors. They pay money for these kids to do these things. Mm-hmm. Meltzer made a huge to-do about it, and then people are literally buddy, they do this all the time. So basically, Dave went on there. People are freaking out that they had to buy tickets, but it's no different than any other event that they buy tickets for.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I don't really see what the issue is. That was kind of the same feeling I had about, did you see that from a few days ago, that the whole TKO Mark Shapiro thing? He was at a college talking about TKO has complete creative control. I talked about this on the stream yesterday, but it was kind of blown out of proportion. And first of all, they don't have complete creative control. That was taken out of context. That also doesn't even make sense. That would imply that they're fucking writing the shows, which makes no sense. Do they have creative influence? Yes, but we already knew that. And they also talked about the celebrities, and that's been going on for decades, which is true. Now, their usage of celebrities can be questionable. The whole McAfee thing was garbage, but it's not McAfee's the problem. It was their influence in that decision. But we've had Mania celebrities involved in the main event of Mania for literally since the very first one, fucking 40 years ago. So did you see any of that discourse over the last couple of days? I didn't really think it was a big deal.
Yeah, I saw the stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of, I don't know. It kind of seems like people were making something out of nothing, in my opinion. Was there a different energy with the crowd between night one and night two, Fernando asked? I was high up, so I didn't think so, but Mr. Marceau said that night one was a bit tamer than night two, which I could totally see that because night two was better. How much responsibility does WWE have to keep talent safe from fans? Big responsibility. I saw all the reports and the videos and shit. Fans are just fucking dumb. But I think the biggest difference, though, they were in Vegas last year, too. You didn't hear as much about the fans harassing talent. That happens all the time, but it happened more so in Vegas because they were staying at the MGM Grand, which is like on par with like fucking New York, and Excalibur and all this other shit. They went to Fontainebleau last year, which was like the new hotel. And it's a really nice hotel, a lot of security. I was waiting for a fucking Uber there last year, and they were like, you can't wait here, you got to go outside. So like they cracked down on that shit. That's a hotel thing. At the MGM Grand, it's a casino, so people are walking around. It's a normal place, so WWE, it was their fault for even going there. I don't really think that happens on the regular, and fans are also just fucking dumb, too. So it is on the company. They probably shouldn't have gone there, and hopefully they rectify that for the next time. And last thing here, he asked about Sid Vicious being done dirty at the Hall of Fame. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. We knew that he would... There was no speech there. Obviously, he's dead. But I knew there would be no speech. They were inducting him as part of the legacy wing or something. I think that's bullshit. He went in the fucking main event of WrestleMania twice. I mean, come on. He deserved an actual induction, but I'm not really surprised. But anyway, Mr. Marceau, we talked about it earlier. I mentioned AJ Lee earlier. She was on this show facing Becky Lynch for the Women's IC Championship. I thought this was good. I think it was on par, if not a little bit weaker than their chamber match, but I don't know. I enjoyed both of their matches. I thought the entrances were great. Becky got the live entrance of her theme, and AJ came out with like the little girl skipping and stuff. I thought that was cute and well done. The match was fine. Becky wins, gets the belt back. This was never going to be a barn burner, but I thought this was a fitting way to finish their feud. And again, like we talked about with the opener, exactly what it needed to be. Tom, what's going on, brother? But Mr. Marceau, what were your thoughts on Becky versus AJ Lee?
It was fine.
Correct outcome?
Correct outcome. I don't know. I just feel like since she's come back, I haven't been a big fan of AJ Lee's matches. I don't know. I just feel like she just doesn't have what she used to have. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they've just been fine. I thought this, like I said, this was definitely weaker than their Elimination Chamber match. Becky winning was the right outcome. Hopefully we're on from this. I don't know. I don't need to see more Becky, AJ. At this point, I've seen enough. And Becky winning was nice. The entrance was fine. Guy clearly was lip singing.
I
Thursday. So I don't know. I felt like it was fine. At this point, I was over the feud. I mean, they did 3 matches. I'm not a big fan of like blow-offs at Mania. I feel like that usually is the first match into. That's what they call backlash. Is usually a rematch. So it was fine. I thought Becky winning was the right outcome, and it was a fine match.
No, fine match. Where do you think Becky goes from here as champ? Who would you like to see ultimately dethrone Becky? My answer has always been Roxanne, but she's currently a heel, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, Soul Riga got called up on Raw. I could see them kind of like pushing the rocket on her. Everyone else, pretty much, besides Roxanne, like I said, who's currently a heel. Everyone else, she's kind of feuded with. She's feuded against Bayley. She's feuded against Lyra. I mean, besides Soul or Roxanne, no one else really makes sense. So I'd have to probably go with one of them. I guess we'll see. Liv, like, kind of like, I don't know, like, she came out and did the promo on Raw, and I feel like it kind of looked like Roxanne was kind of like whatever. I feel like there's some legs there, so I don't know how long you hold the belt with Becky as well, but I would say it has to be either Soul or Roxanne's the only ones that really make sense.
Yeah, on the Raw roster as it stands right now, either option would be good. And Fernando said in regards to earlier, celebrities never get involved in WrestleMania main events like they do now. All Mike Tyson did in the main event was count 3 in TKO HBK after the match was over. I mean, well, technically, Fernando, first of all, you're right, but at the same time, Mr. T literally was the main event of WrestleMania at WrestleMania 1. Lawrence Taylor literally was the main event of WrestleMania at WrestleMania 11, 10 years later. So we've had celebrities involved in Mania. What you're talking about is like the Travis Scott shit or the McAfee shit, Jelly Roll, yeah, all of that is too much influence. That is too much. But the idea that celebrities are new in WWE is ridiculous. It's just short-sighted.
Mike Tyson was not involved in the main event of WrestleMania 14.
He did, but what he's saying is that it wasn't like it was only at the end and he counted 3, which is true. Like the McAfee stuff has played a bigger role. But I'm just saying the idea that celebrities should not be welcome at WrestleMania Yeah, less of them, I agree. But the idea that they won't be there, like, bro, even it's not a Triple H issue or a TKO issue. Before TKO even took over, we had fucking Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. Now, that wasn't the main event, which that sort of stuff I can stomach. But we had Knoxville at WrestleMania. They had Logan Paul compete at WrestleMania that year for the first time before he signed. They had Bad Bunny 5 years ago. It's the same shit. It's just that it's not well done. If it's well done, we wouldn't be complaining about it. The McAfee shit sucked. It was awful. And we'll get to how that culminated briefly. But Liv and Stephanie, we can spend as much time on this as they did with the match, but it was quick. Match should have gotten more time, but whatever. I thought it was good for what it was. Liv Morgan won. Again, correct outcome. New women's world champion. Any thoughts here, Mr. Marceau?
Yeah, no, I said this kind of earlier. I just feel like for like what it was kind of like built up as a blood feud. I mean, Liv was wearing the scars on her face, the egg on her head, and the black eye. This was the most tame fucking match I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, like you build these blood feuds and like there's these big backstage angles. I don't know if they're just going for that to like keep your interest going, but like give me something. I mean, this match had no feel to it at all. Like it was a standard match, and then with like a minute left, you had Roxanne run out, you had Raquel run out, had the 2 interference. She hit her with a code breaker, Oblivion 1, 2, 3. I mean, right outcome. I just, like I said, the build was like, oh, like these two women hate each other. Like, gave her a concussion. She's calling her a fucking punta. She said your mom's a bitch.
Yeah.
We're getting fucking arm drags and normal match stuff. I mean, I don't know. Like, I know that stuff makes people excited, but then when you get to the match and it's a pillow fight, I mean, it doesn't really move the needle for me. And like I said, right outcome, but this is probably why people are pissed, which I agree to a point. Like, you can't be pushing this down our throat that they hate each other and nothing crazy happened. I mean, she needed 2 people to help her beat her in 6 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, this was raw shit. I thought it was good, but like the interference, I'm like, listen, I understand why they would interfere. Like, why wouldn't they? But it's like, come on, man. Do we really need this? I mean, it was just basic shit. It did not fit the feud, like we said, with McIntyre and Fatu. This was even worse because it's like they were really at it. And there was, honestly, they built up a lot of excitement for their match, whereas there really wasn't a whole lot of excitement to start
this was literally the equivalent of Triple H versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania 25. Fucking breaking each other's houses, all this shit. Tamest match of all time. This was like the women comparison of it.
No, that's a great comparison. I completely
This
agree.
match should have been like Tiffany and Charlotte last year. It was like, it felt like sloppy because they were like, they hate each other. Like, it would have been that bit, like not crisp and whatever, but it's like they've had this blood feud. Like they're like going off script. They're roughing each other up. No, just, standard Raw match.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing crazy. And then, like I said, felt rushed and it was over in fucking blink and you missed it. If you wanted to go take a piss, you would have missed the match.
No, seriously. I think Liv's entrance was probably as long as the actual match was. And I liked her entrance, but definitely ridiculous. Hopefully they get a chance to run it back and have a better match. I know they resumed their rivalry on Raw, so we'll probably get a rematch soon. Maybe a Backlash. Johnny said last woman standing. I'd be okay with that. I just want a longer, better match than what we got at WrestleMania. And then what was the other thing?
You skipped Gunther and Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah, we did skip Gunther and Seth Rollins. I'm such an asshole.
The best match of the night, you skipped right over.
I know, seriously. I skipped right over this. Like WWE skipped over the build. But let's talk about it real quick. Great match here. For a match that had no fucking build, this was awesome. And this was obviously the best part of Mania Night 1 and one of the best matches all weekend. The only part I did not like about it, like I said earlier, was Braun Breaker coming out to help Gunther win. He didn't need it. I thought that was stupid. They could have just brought him back on Raw. Breaker's been at Mania before. Didn't need that Mania moment. Stupid. But the match itself was great. With nothing on the line, this was excellent stuff. Do you share that same sentiment, Mr. Marceau?
No, yeah. I thought this was easily the best match of the night. I think the fans helped a lot. I think they felt like this was probably out of all the matches throughout the night, this was the most they were intrigued in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought these guys did great. Like, it felt more unsanctioned than the Drew and Jacob match did. I feel like they just like it just felt better. It felt like the pacing was better. The Breaker spirit. You know what it is? Half the problem is they don't feel like he needs to stop jumping like he's like fucking on a trampoline. I feel like it makes the move like 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be like, oh my God, like, but they don't like film it right. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
The way he hit it, like Rollins was kind of like against the turn, like he was against the barricade, and like he just came flying in. Like the way they shot it looked terrible.
Yeah, like grazed him. Yeah.
why is it like this? And I know like they're always so fast, but like it just doesn't look good.
Then just don't
do
it.
They kind of just rolled them in and just fucking choked them out, and then we moved on. So overall, I thought this was the right outcome. Gunther won. I would have saved the breaker stuff for Raw. I think we discussed this last week when we talked about it. I mean, I guess it gives Rollins an out, but I don't know. I feel like Gunther like had him on the ropes anyway, so I don't think we really need the breaker, but it is what it is. But Gunther winning was the right outcome, and I thought overall this was clearly the best match of the night.
Yeah, I would love if they ran this back at some point down the road. They had great chemistry here, and this was really without much of a feud. They had a very quick feud going into Mania, ended up exceeding expectations with a really, really good match, which we expected. But still, this was the best part of night one. Fernando said if it wasn't for Seth and Gunther, night one would have been the worst ever. The worst ever night one? I don't know if that's true. I mean, if we're counting the COVID one, I mean, this night one was definitely better than COVID because there were no fans. But night one last year was okay. I mean, night one last year, I think this was better than that. Night one last year was
I think that's another thing people need to realize. If you go back and look at a couple of those night ones, dude, you'd be surprised some of the matches on there. And I'm surprised that people weren't shitting on it more.
Yeah.
Like one year, it was like for WrestleMania 40, it was like the Pride faced like
the Final Testament.
This is such a throwaway match. I'm like, why were people like shitting on this?
I think people were, but it's a recency bias thing where it's like, oh, it's the worst ever. Like, if you really went back and compared it, this is not like the worst ever. Like, Cody and Randy, the main event was not the worst ever. It was not great, overbooked as shit. But the actual match...
But you also knew that coming in. It was
exactly.
Everything with Cody's overbooked. Like, if you don't expect that, then you just don't watch Cody. Like, that's what Cody is at this point. He's like Dusty 2.0.
No, basically. But even the match itself, though, I mean... I guess we'll talk about that in a second. Let me just get this out of the way first. But we had a lot of surprises on the show with the returns. We had Breaker, Paige, and we also had Bianca Belair come out. And I'm like, why the fuck would she come out now and not tomorrow?
Come on, Graham.
I didn't know.
With a blind Stevie Wonder in the basement. Once you saw that dress, you knew she was pregnant.
No,
that was the biggest, like, oh my God, I'm pregnant dress of all time.
No, that's what Alexis said. I am blind. I mean, we had a TV up there, but I legitimately could not fucking see. And I'm like, why the fuck is she here? This is so random.
You could just tell because like right around her stomach was like the big flowers and stuff. She comes out, I look at Molly and go, this is guaranteed. This is hey, I'm pregnant. And she's like, you think? I'm like, look at that dress. She's like, yeah, she's definitely pregnant. And then Cena does the attendance. Oh, actually, Bianca's pregnant. Now we got an extra fan. Like, wee! Like, it was a good moment. I mean,
no, it was a great moment. I am sad that she's not going to be around for the foreseeable future. But Bianca for at least another year. But I heard she's like 6 months pregnant. I mean, she was pretty pregnant out there. I mean, that's crazy. You talk about. That's a nice thing to keep a surprise, though, because like things get spoiled all the time. I think she's been pregnant for some time. Like it's not like she just found out a couple weeks ago.
Must have been that. Hey, at least we know that finger's healed.
Yeah, no, no, she actually had something wrapped around her finger. She did have a wrap on it, so I don't know if it's completely healed.
Maybe she's getting ready for post-pregnancy. Get that the finger's all healed up now.
I mean, it is good that. I mean, first of all, great news for her and Montez, but second of all, if she's pretty far along, then. I don't know. I mean, could she be back? By Mania next year, it's totally possible. But could she be back before then? I don't know. Naomi, I know, gave birth. It wasn't a big deal. Someone said she had her kid a couple of weeks ago, and they made like a comment about it. One of the Usos did in an interview before Mania, but they didn't like post about it, so no one really knew. But I think Naomi, I think she gave birth a couple weeks ago, which I did not even really know until someone told me that.
Yeah, so. No, I don't know. I didn't hear anything. It's just one of those things. Like it's like Cody and Brandy. Like they had another kid. I didn't know Brandy was pregnant until they had announced they had another kid. I'm like, see, it's like depending on what you're posting, you'd never know. Like, they just don't know. Like Cody had another kid. I think he like kind of spoiled it. Like on one of his podcasts, he was hammered, and it was like, like 2 kids. Like, I mean, one, like obviously one kid. And they're like, oh, okay. Then it was like a month later, Brandy had their kid. I'm like, I didn't even know she was pregnant.
Yeah, no, neither did I. It was like, he got like kicked in the head on SmackDown by Drew that Sunday. Oh, he's got a second kid. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? I guess Brandy wasn't out in public anywhere that anyone would know. Like she was at Mania this year. Like if you saw her at Mania, you would know. But I guess she didn't make many public appearances last year, and she was like, all right, I'm pregnant. I'm like, holy shit, good for them. But yeah, let's go back to this Cody Randy thing. Like I said before, people shitting all over this, which I understand why. Because the pre-match shit with McAfee and Jelly Roll, we expected it, nonsense, whatever. As soon as McAfee got gurneyed off, everyone's like, oh, they had to do that to write him off. Then they can have a match now. I'm like, bro, he's going to be back. he's going to come back. And then sure enough, he comes out with a fucking neck brace and the ref shirt, which doesn't even make sense. Why would he even be able to make the 3 count? And he does make the 3 count, but he doesn't do it quickly. He like takes his time. It's like, none of this makes any sense. And then the match itself, I thought was really good. Without all the bullshit, it was really good. But you had like Orton selling a back injury and Cody was acting like an asshole. I'm like, what the fuck is the psychology here supposed to be? This makes no sense. And I feel like this has been the case with Cody for like the last year, dating back to the Cena match too. The second one, he came across like a dick in that match too. People are booing him, so you think, oh, maybe they'll turn him. They didn't. So then Cody fucking wins after a crossroads to Orton, who got distracted from McAfee, who he laid out with an RKO, so that alliance is over. Okay, I'm not completely convinced yet, but hopefully it is. That's the report, that the McAfee shit is over. Great, they had to pivot. But then Cody won, and I guess Orton's hurt, so maybe that's why they switched the outcome. That's what Meltzer said. I don't know. Okay, whatever, bro. Cody retains, and then Orton lays him out anyway. He lays him out with a fucking punk kick, which of course causes the crowd to go crazy, and that's how they ended night one. It was so, like, deflating. I'm like, what? At that point, you're going to do everything but put the belt on Randy. They literally did everything except just put the belt on him. It made no sense. What were your 2 cents in all this bullshit?
Yeah, no, I thought like, honestly, like I said, I'm expecting smoke and mirrors, pun intended, with Cody. Yeah. Obviously, we got the McAfee stuff. Like I said, honestly, at first, I'm like, good, get him out of there. I expected him to come back later, but I thought in the moment, at least he's gone for now. Mm-hmm. I was like, maybe he's not going to come back, but my deep down, I'm like, he's definitely coming back. Yeah. But yeah, no, he came back. I thought, like you said, the match itself was weird. Like Cody was like a dick. He cut Randy open with the fucking steel steps. No, that was the next night. But like he cut Randy open. He was being more like the dick. Orton was selling the back injury. I'm like, okay, this is weird. They said like, oh, maybe we're gonna double turn. Okay, here we go. McAfee comes back. I'm like, oh, here we go. Like he's gonna count fast. Slowest count I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm like, okay, that was kind of bizarre. Whatever. Gets up, Orton RKO's him. I'm like, all right, perfect. Now they're clearly done. RKO's him. I'm like, oh, perfect. Now he's okay. McAfee's going. He's gonna fucking punt Cody. He's gonna win. Mm-hmm. Nope. Cody just pops up. Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck was that? That made no sense. Orton literally looks like a fucking idiot. He RKO's a Pat to be like, fuck you. Cody pops up like a fucking dandelion and fucking hits him Cody hits him with the fucking crossroads. I'm like, okay, that was dumb. Orton looks like an idiot, but all right. Then Cody wins. I'm like, I guess that's it. Nope. Orton gets up, punt kicks him. And then on Raw, they're teasing fucking Punk and Cody. Nothing with Randy. Like, is Randy hurt? So, like, did they just do that because Randy's going to be off for a while? So they're just going to end him with punting Cody. And now he's going to, like, ail his hurting back. Like, it made no fucking sense. Like you said, they did everything that they should have done besides putting the belt on Randy. And if he's hurt, I get it a little bit, but then why go all the way with the punt? Like, at that point, just have Randy just, like, come out, like, no, my back's hurt, like, whatever. But, like, the whole punt thing was just stupid. Like, now we're going to wait 6 months for him to come back, and now they're going to resume the feud? Like, yeah. What we got on Raw, I feel like we're getting Punk and Cody next.
I don't think so. I was going to ask about that. I think they're planting the seeds for either Mania next year at some other point down the road with Cody and Punk, which I like. I would not, like, you're not going to do that at fucking Clash in Paris. I think that'd be stupid. I would hold off on that for a while. Roman and Jacob is one thing, which we'll talk about soon, but Cody and Punk I would hold off on. We'll find out tonight what the deal with Orton is, if he's on the show, off the show. It sounds like McAfee's done. Thank fucking God they learned their lesson. It shouldn't have even gotten to that point. Let's not applaud WWE for being like, yeah, you did the right thing. We shouldn't even be in the spot talking about it. Like, McAfee should have never been out there to begin with. But like you said, with the match itself, he lays him out with a punk kick. Crowd goes nuts. Crowd's all excited about it. Do you think Orton would be the babyface in this situation? He also laid out Pat. That's a babyface move. But then he lost like a loser. He was made to look like an idiot. Did you catch the post-show by any chance for WrestleMania Night 1?
No.
Dude, he hits him with a punk kick. And Cody sits the fuck up 5 minutes later and walks away. It's not even like it's writing off Cody. It's like, oh, okay, they're gonna write off Cody. They'll go back to this, and maybe Orton's gonna run amok in the meantime. He's gonna go dominate. Fatu is gonna reveal that Orton was the one that attacked him, not Drew. Okay. Like Orton's gonna go deal with Fatu in the meantime. Cody will come back. Nope. Cody just fucking sat up and walked away. I'm like, and then Orton's gonna go away. Fatu's going to Roman instead. Completely forgetting about the backstage. I'm like, this SmackDown main event scene is such a fucking mess. It's completely ridiculous. Even Richie said here in the chat, TKO is going to ruin Cody if they haven't started to already. No, it's already begun.
Cody's already ruined himself a little bit, but
why would you say Cody has ruined himself?
Because it's the Cody fatigue. He didn't need to, like, this should have been slam dunk. Randy wins and Cody go away for a little bit. Like, I just feel like maybe I guess it is TKO itself, but it's just like he's just too, like, I don't not like Cody, but the fatigue of Cody just always being in my face is I'm starting to get annoyed. I know the fans are starting to get annoyed, but like, this should have been Randy winning. Outside of him actually being injured, this should have been Randy wins, LOL. Fuck the whole Pat McAfee shit. Like I said, I'm not giving them a standing applause. I'm glad they finally realized, like, hey, this shit's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know if Pat realized, like, hey, this is terrible.
I think he did.
Realistically, he's going to be gone anyways in 5 months to go do college football.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why they thought bringing him back was a good idea to begin with. I know, like, he's, like, the greatest superstar ever, Triple H said, or whatever, the fucking bloodline of the WWE, whatever, the heartbeat. But, like, this was terrible. I'm glad they realized it, but unless Randy's actually injured, Cody winning was, like, the worst fucking outcome. Because now we got more Cody. Like, Randy should have won unless he's hurt, and he should have punted Cody, and we should have seen Cody. Shouldn't have seen Cody in another 3 months. But nope, Cody wins, and we don't know what's going on with Randy, and now we got more Cody. Like, yay.
It just makes no sense. I mean, Richie also said, too, back-to-back L's at Mania for Cody Rhodes might not have been beneficial for him, but also WWE backed themselves into a corner with their stupid booking involving Jelly Roll and Pat. No, I know. So the TKO thing, they haven't ruined Cody, but they're actively ruining him with the celebrity involvement. They did it with Rock 2 years ago, which actually worked out for the best because that was entertaining, but still, they fucked themselves with the whole Rock thing. It should have been Cody Roman from the get-go, whatever. Last year with the Travis Scott shit, the Cena heel turn was terrible. And then Orton's heel turn had potential, and they completely fucked it by involving Pat McAfee for no reason. And then he also said, had those two jabronis not been involved, and if a more organic story had been told, I think Cody could have taken an L and by Randy, and he would have been okay, but alas, here we are. Dude, we talked about it last week when we predicted this match. It was a lose-lose situation. If Cody lost here, I still predicted Cody, but I wanted Randy to win. It would have made Cody look like an idiot for, like, losing again. This time to another addict or a ruthless aggression star, whatever. But with Orton losing, it's even worse. Because they'll run this back. The feud will continue. They'll try to salvage it, tell more of an organic story with legacy and shit. Great. I think it might be too late, though. I think the damage has been done. Because when they run this back, and Orton is still a heel, Cody's going to get booed out of the building again. Because he won again when he probably shouldn't have in this case. And if Orton wins then, bro, it's going to be 2009 all over again, where he lost at Mania, looked like an idiot, and then he won a fucking backlash at the show that you were at in a 6-man tag team match. It's like, it's ass-backwards booking. And then what, is Cody going to get the belt back from him in their third match? It's just ass-backwards booking where nobody wins.
No, I agree. No, I don't know. I
don't get it.
Like you said, it was like a lose-lose, because if Cody won, it was like McAfee's gone, which is great, but it's like I really didn't want Cody to win. So it's like, okay, so Cody won. Now no McAfee, but now we're still dealing with Cody. He's a babyface. Randy's the heel, but they're cheering Randy because, I mean, Randy's just more beloved at this point. He's not shoved down our throat like Cody has been.
Yeah.
And people wanted to see Randy finally win the big one, which he hasn't won in so long. And then Cody just beats him. And him beating Randy, it's not even that he beat Randy. It's the fact how dumb Randy looked. Like, he looks like the biggest idiot that just try to turn on McAfee. It's like, okay, if you're going to turn on McAfee, you got to win too. So, like, you get rid of McAfee, beat Cody, and then it's like, great. No, you RKO fucking Pat, then you just get played. Cody pops up and just beats you, like, and you look like a moron.
Yeah.
Okay, ends the night with him punting him and him on top, but it's like, okay, but you still lost at the end of the day. Like, I think they think that makes us, like, forget the fact he just lost. Like, I just saw him lose. He caused himself to lose the match because he's too busy dicking around with Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
And now he's an idiot.
Whose help he accepted in the first place, by the way. Randy Orton is the one to blame there. I mean, He accepted Pat McAfee's help, and then he turns out to be an idiot. Yeah, no shit. It makes the character look like if he was like, oh, I got to listen to the voices, then why did you bring in Pat McAfee? Like, from a storyline standpoint, it makes zero sense. Why could they not have just put the belt on Orton and then have him, like, because the whole stipulation was, oh, McAfee, if Cody wins, McAfee's gone, and he'll be back, obviously. In some form or fashion, they'll forget this even happened. But why couldn't you have Orton won, and then what they should have done at WrestleMania 17, just have him lay out McAfee afterward? Like Austin should have laid out McMahon. Just have him RKO. I mean, I guess that would have turned him babyface, but dude, what we got instead, I still, maybe I'm a Cody crybaby, and I definitely am. I'm wearing his fucking shirt as we speak, actually. But it is a Cody problem, but I don't think it's Cody himself, because it's not like Cody's matches are bad. I mean, this wasn't great. This was the worst match of the weekend, I thought. It's the overbooking. It's the situations they're putting him in. I think Cody himself is a great face of the company, but they're actively turning people against him by making the people who face him look like idiots or cooler than he is. It's just the positions they're putting him in, I would say, are the problem more than anything.
I think he has some say, though, and I feel like I think he has some pull on what he's doing. I think that's why it's always overbooked, because I think he thinks this shit's good.
If he thought this shit was good, then I would agree.
It's giving AEW at the end vibes, like when he was doing all the stupid shit.
Yeah.
And then AEW, like the overbooking. That's what it's feeling like, and it's not good.
Too convoluted, yeah.
Yes, there's too much going on. Like at this point, like you can't get a Cody match without fucking run-in and like smoke and mirrors, and there's got to be a run-in. There's got to be bullshit. There's got to be a ref bump. Like they got to do the whole fucking nine, and it's like, we really don't need to do this.
No, just have him lose clean. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, why is he losing with all this help? Like, he's like, oh yeah, what if we give Randy this, and then he has an out to lose here, and then I can be made like I could just take advantage. First of all, you look like a heel, but second of all, just beat Randy clean. Just beat him clean. I feel like I know we would maybe complain about that, but all the overbooking just made everyone look bad. Everyone here looked terrible. Even by the end of the show, Orton standing tall. That was awful. Thankfully, though, they started night 2 much better with Oba Femi beating Brock. There really wasn't much to the match. I was hoping we would get more of a match, but they did the right thing. Oba Femi has arrived at WrestleMania. He has arrived in WWE. He got a massive reaction coming out. He got a massive reaction upon winning, and he got a massive reaction on Raw. Brother, this was the right call. I was not convinced they would actually do it. I'm glad they did. I was happy to have been wrong. Give me your thoughts on, after the palate cleanser of Cody and Randy. Let's get a palate cleanser here with Oba beating Brock in night 2.
I mean, we talked about it last week. I mean, out of any decision they had to make this weekend, this was the only one they really had to make right. I think that would salvage any bad. And Oba won here, came out super over, hit Brock with a couple power moves, got F5, he popped up and fucking choke slammed him. Hit him with the fucking big power bomb, 1, 2, 3, and threw the babies in the air. I mean, anything outside of Oba winning would have been terrible. I honestly have seen some people like discourse pissed that Brock lost. Like, dude, come the fuck on. This was on big ESPN. They were going to get plenty of casuals, and they're going to see this beast. And by beast, I'm saying Oba Femi, not Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
They know of Brock Lesnar, but they're going to see this guy who they've never seen in their life, who's bigger than Brock, younger than Brock, squash Brock or just put him down. If they're any kind of casual fan, they're going to see Oba coming out with the fucking music, people chanting him, got the strut. Like, this was the make me performance of what we needed, and it was everything we needed, and it was perfect. No complaints. Don't care that it went fucking 5 minutes. It was exactly what we needed, and Oba won, and he looks like a fucking stud. And that's what we needed.
They nailed it. They nailed everything about this, from the build, which was great, the best thing going into Mania, the match itself. Again, I was hoping for more, but I'm not going to sit here and complain. I thought the match itself was still very good for what it was. I don't really expect much from Brock in 2026 anyway, but Femi won clean. And did he not, correct me if I'm wrong, did he not just win with one of his finishers?
He hit him with a chokeslam and hit him with the powerbomb.
And that was it, right?
What was that?
Yeah, no fucking finisher fest. I think Brock hit an F5, and people were like, oh, you know, he didn't sell it. I mean, he did sell it. He got back up, but he didn't pop back up. He, like, kind of wobbled back to his feet. Like, Femi, correct me if I'm wrong, the guy just gets it. I mean, the guy I mean, I don't know what to say. The guy's fucking awesome. We've already known this. we already knew it anyway, but when we saw it at Heatwave with him and Javon, I was like, I get it. I see it. Like, I see the vision here, not the fucking group. I'm talking about, I see Femi as being one of the guys, if not the guy in WWE. I've always said they'll prioritize Breakker over Femi. Honestly, at this point, I kind of hope I'm wrong. Breakker's great, and I think they will push Breakker over Femi. Femi is already off to a better start than Breakker ever was. This was great, though. Two things coming out of it. With Brock, he took his boots off in the middle of the ring. This really surprised me. And they heavily implied that he is done. And they did a video package for him on Raw. Call me crazy. I don't think this is it. I also think this was part of the plan. I saw people saying, oh, is that a character? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, him hugging Heyman may have been, on the spot. Him taking off his boots. Do you think they had a fucking video package made up at last minute? I mean, come on. They obviously were already planning on doing this. But what's your take on this? Do you think this is it for Brock, or do you think maybe he'll be lured back into wrestling one more match at SummerSlam with Gunther? I'm not saying we need to see it. I think Oba beating him and that being the send-off would be great. I'm just saying the whole Gunther favor thing could lead to Gunther's favor being, hey, you give me Brock at SummerSlam, I want to be the one to retire him, and then he beats him in Minnesota.
Yeah, no, I think this was great. Like I said, I didn't expect it. Brock retiring. I mean, we saw that there. Yeah, I mean, I think, like they said, they had the video package. Everything, like, came off well. So, like, I mean, I feel like if he was done, I feel like he would have came out and, like, maybe said a few words. Like, obviously, like, did the whole, like, threw up the X thing and, like, hugged Heyman. It felt, like, very, like, like, this might be the end. But I don't know. I feel like we would get a little bit more, like, if he'd come out on Raw and be like, this is my final hurrah. Like, I don't know. I feel like if he was done, that's what we would have gotten, and we didn't get it here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing it here. Hey, tickets go on sale May 1st for SummerSlam. Hey, tickets start moving. Hey, bro, my Brock's back. Hey, look, Brock and fucking Gunther. Gunther's going to put him down. So, I mean, tickets go on sale in a week. I guess we'll see next week. If they're moving a lot of tickets, maybe Brock's done. If, hey, we need some tickets, here comes the Minnesota boy. Him and Gunther one last time. So we'll see. I think he's still going to come back. I think, like you said, I think they'll do that match. I think that's probably in the plans, but I think it'd just be weird. They finally go to Minneapolis and we don't get Brock on the show.
That would be weird, yeah.
I feel like that's just weird. So, like you said, I think maybe we'll see how the tickets are moving, and then we'll get a final decision. I don't think he's done though.
No, I think he'll be back at SummerSlam. I think he'll have his last match there, and I think he'll be back in 10 years to work a fucking Saudi show at Saudi Mania. And he'll probably be back for Saudi Mania next year. Who the fuck knows? But as long as he loses to Gunther, that's all that matters. I think they've been planning this for a while. And I will say this, I'm happy because there was that kind of belief like, oh, he has to win until he retires. No, the fuck he doesn't. I thought this actually made a lot of sense where he lost to Femi and he thinks he's done, but Gunther's like, no, you're fucking not until I can beat you. I think that's a much better story than him beating Femi. It's like, oh, but Femi looked good in defeat. Like, if anyone, like you had said, was defending this, you need to go get your fucking head checked. I mean, there's no sane person that actually thought that was the wrong call to have Femi win. I mean, come on, just stop. Take the WWE fucking, boots out of your ass or whatever. Stop licking their asshole. It's just, it makes no sense to me. But speaking of Femi, last thing on this, where do you really go with him from here? In the interim, I'm not sure, but, like, how quickly are we putting the belt on this guy? Because I think it should be by SummerSlam, personally.
No, SummerSlam, I think he should be putting Roman through the fucking mat.
There you go.
He's the guy. I mean, if you want to be honest with it, I would love it if you just killed Roman on Raw and just won the belt there.
There you go.
I feel like he's white hot. Might be an understatement. The guy just comes out. He has the aura. The fucking fans will lap up everything he does. He came out on Raw. I think he's like, the rule is here, and people fucking threw the kids in the air. And I fell off the couch. I mean, I think strike when the iron's hot. It's very hot right now. It's fucking sun hot. I fear the longer they wait, not that he can cool off, but like there could be an injury that could pop up or something like that. I mean, he at this point is the guy. They should have done a breaker out at Raw, and now he got hurt, and now he's kind of just doing this thing with Seth still. I mean, with Femi, I feel like you just got to do it. Like, I know they're teasing Fatu and Roman at Backlash, but I mean, you got to get this done sooner rather than later.
I agree. Honestly, it doesn't even have to be Roman. I think it will because he's on Raw, but like him and Cody, his first main roster match was that Saturday night's main event back in December, and him and Cody went to a DQ or an interference or whatever it was with Drew McIntyre getting involved. You can run that back and have him be the one to beat Cody. I don't think that's going to happen. But if Fatu's going for the Raw title, hey, fuck it. Have Oba Femi go for the SmackDown title. Who gives a shit? Maybe switch the titles between the two shows. I don't know. They've done that before, so I agree, though. I would fast track him, pull the trigger, put the belt on him tomorrow. I think it's the right time, and people are lapping it up, so why not continue moving on in that direction? Intercontinental Championship ladder match. I thought this was a really fun match. I thought this was one of the better matches, honestly, of the whole weekend. They actually gave it time. What a surprise, I know. Not the entrances. I know they cut off the entrances for McDonough, Dragon Lee, and Rusev. I confirmed with you. I'm like, kind of getting the feeling these aren't on TV. And then I'm like, hey, were these on TV? You're like, hey, you're going to die. They're not. I'm like, oh, yeah, I kind of figured that. Fucking hilarious. But still, great match. Penta retains. Again, exactly what it should have been. I thought this was one of those fun Mania spot fests that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was exactly what it needed to be. I mean, yeah, they come back from ESPN commercial. It's like McDonough's like, there was like the tail end of his entrance. Like he was in the ring. Then they were like, oh yeah, Dragon Lee and Rusev already at fucking ringside. And then we got Javon, Ray, and Penta. So no, overall, I mean, I think every year we always complain like, oh, you're going to get the multi-ladder match or the Lowe's Home Depot special. But I feel like these always hit with the crowd, especially the big live stadium crowd. They hit all the ridiculous fucking break your neck bobs. Penta winning, I think it was either between him and Javon. They kind of teased Javon winning. Penta came out on top. I think it was the right decision. He just won the belt. Super over. Nice spotlight for Javon as well. So overall, all these guys did well. I'm not looking forward to like the Rusev fucking run. I know we got him on Raw like killing everyone, but no, I think Penta winning was the right decision. And these matches, regardless of who's in them, they usually always get the crowd going.
Yeah, I thought this was great. They got a stacked IC title scene right now. You mentioned Rusev. I'm fine with it. If he's working with Javon, that's fine. But you also got Ethan Page in the mix as well. He debuted on Raw this week, beating Javon Evans, and he's also kind of involved in the IC championship scene. So what are your thoughts on Ethan Page entering Raw and immediately being a player in the IC title picture?
Well, I think he's like, that's his, I don't know if that's his ceiling, but that's where he should be kind of his mainstay. I mean, I know in NXT he was more the North American guy, so that was a good start. Nothing crazy. I mean, I want Javon losing a lot, but there was some interference to lead to that, so I didn't hate it.
No, I didn't hate it either. I like that a lot. This is a great question from Fernando on the Oba stuff. Is Oba hotter than Brock Lesnar was when he faced The Rock at SummerSlam? I'm going to throw it to you first before I answer that.
No.
No, he's not. He's not hotter than Brock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say yes. I feel like with Oba, I mean, not that Brock wasn't over. Brock was already over. Oba is like another level of stardom, honestly. I feel like the Brock push was more manufactured, if that makes sense. Like, they already knew they were going to put the belt on him by SummerSlam to beat No, they wasn't beating any record, actually. It was Orton they kind of had beat Brock's record because Brock left. But I don't know. I feel like Oba's more over than Brock was in 2002 at that point, at least going into SummerSlam. And also, Oba just beat Brock, the big star of today. Brock didn't really, going into SummerSlam, he beat the fucking Hardys, he beat RVD. He did beat Hogan on SmackDown, but I feel like beating Brock in 2026 was a bigger deal than beating Hogan in 2002. I don't know. I'm just curious what your justification is.
I think my justification is that we had never seen Brock before.
Okay.
Came up from OVW, which no one really knew about him. Came up on Raw, was fucking a menace and a half, fucking killing everybody. We said, kill the Hardy Boys, beat RVD, won King of the Ring, so he's fucking huge there. Mm-hmm. Fucking killed Hulk Hogan going into fucking SummerSlam against The Rock, who at the time was big shit, and just fucking won the title. I mean, I just think with Oba, like, yeah, Oba is big, but I feel like Brock was like a meteoric rise. Like, Oba's been around for a few years, obviously coming up to the main roster. It's been quick, but like Brock, like no one even knew who he was, and he was on the scene. Obviously, the next big thing, him and Heyman. I feel like just like it was also just like his rise was a lot quicker too.
That is true. So Brock was also, or Femi was in the Rumble and he lost. Brock wasn't in any Rumble and lost. He just showed up the night after Mania killing dudes and won the belt in 4 months. Femi's not going to win the belt in 4 months unless he wins it by early next week or something. He's not winning it within 4 months. I would agree it was the quicker rise for Brock, but I still say Oba might be hotter. I think just crowd reaction-wise, I'd have to go back. I mean, you watched the shit back then, so I can't really argue with you, but I feel like Oba's hotter, but Brock had had the bigger rise, if that makes sense.
I mean, Brock also had a fucking meteoric fall too. So, yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Brock was just like instantly the guy, and I like didn't feel like it. Definitely felt rushed, but at that time, it felt like right because there wasn't like really anyone else to push. Like, obviously, Austin was wrapping up soon. Rock was there. They didn't really have any new guys. So, like his meteoric rise just like felt organic in a way.
No, I understand that, especially since we hadn't already seen him on TV. Like he was in OVW, which no one was following from week to week at that point, except for the people there. We knew of Oba Femi in NXT for the last couple of years, so you are right on that. I forgot to say this earlier, but would you say Oba you would put the belt on by? What's your best Shawn Michaels impersonation from 2002?
SummerSlam?
Let's say SummerSlam. Yeah,
I think SummerSlam is the latest. I mean,
yeah.
I just also don't really want him winning the belt at like Night of Champions in Riyadh. I mean, I
no,
love
thanks.
that.
No. Yeah.
So like, I guess SummerSlam would have to be the date. So I'll say it has to be by SummerSlam.
Yeah, well, obviously it's not Backlash. They do have Clash in Paris. I mean, I don't think you'll win it then. Night of Champions, I hope not, because it's in Riyadh. So no. You do have a Saturday night's main event at MSG in July. I know a Raw would be crazy. Like, that would be some Goldberg shit. Not in a bad way. I think that'd be sick. But a Saturday night's main event, that'd be would they really give that away on fucking Peacock when they would rather do it on Netflix or on ESPN? Probably not, but you can't rule out the possibility.
I think it should be SummerSlam.
Right. At this point, SummerSlam would make the most sense. Oba and Brock, or Oba and Roman, and then Gunther and Brock are two marquee matches for a two-night SummerSlam for sure. Williams and Sammy, pretty basic match here. One of those matches that kind of got shortchanged for time, so really not much to this. But Trick Williams winning, new United States champion, the correct outcome. My only issue with this was that they kind of was like, they're probably still going to do a double turn. I would have just done it here. I'm not saying Sammy should have won by cheating, but it's like, I don't know. It kind of looked like a loser. He just won the belt and then lost it in 2 weeks, which he should have, but it was a little strange. So what were your thoughts on this and the new United States champion?
Yeah, with this match, like you said, I feel like it was just kind of like, it was a standard match. Trick won, which I felt obviously was the right decision.
Yeah.
Hit him with this, honestly, it was like probably 7-8 minute match. Hit him with this finish, 1, 2, 3. Felt kind of flat, obviously, just with like everything going on, but I think Trick winning was the right decision.
Yeah.
I don't love they're turning. I mean, Trick's just so over. It's like at this point, I feel like you kind of have to turn him.
Yeah.
He's such a babyface reaction that like it's kind of silly that he's not a babyface. Like Sammy was kind of more of a heel here anyways, so Trick winning was the right decision, but like I feel like at this point you kind of have to turn him.
I just wouldn't change much about his character because I think his character stuff right now is really entertaining for Trick Williams.
No, I wouldn't change his character either, but I feel like you have to treat him as a babyface.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sammy plays his heel role or whatever the fuck he's doing. I think whatever Sammy's doing right now is great because people organically just don't like him, which I'm not really sure why. I think it's just because he's boring, but it's just fans are so fickle. But I think it's great that they're leaning into it, and I like the dynamic. So right outcome there. Demon Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. I have no idea why this was a street fight. I did not know that until they showed the graphic. I'm like, when the fuck was that added? Didn't really need to be a street fight. It was a good match. I enjoyed the match, and the Demon being back was great. Kind of gave me NXT vibes from like 10 years ago when he was at his most relevant. But again, exactly what it needed to be. Another fine mid-card match. Correct outcome. The Demon finally wins for the first time since I think 2019, which is egregious. But better late than never. So what were your thoughts on this one?
Exactly what it needed to be. Like I said, a street fight. Did it really need a street fight? Probably not. I mean, we had that unsanctioned on the first night. No real need for this.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really do anything that was like street fight like worthy, so it was fine. I mean, it was what it was. So whatever, it was fine. Demon won, which was the right outcome. He beat I guess they're still gonna feud with the Judgment Day. He beat JD on Raw. Maybe this leads to more Roxanne Raquel Liv breakup stuff, but Finn winning was the right decision. Won here, nothing was on the line besides bad blood, I guess, and yeah, no,
it was good. I was gonna ask if does the feud continue, but like you said, they did do it on Raw. They did do Balor and McDonough, which was good. Do I need to see the feud continue? No. But my hope is, like you said, they kind of incorporate Roxanne more, Liv more, Raquel more, and they kind of tease more tension there. Because Raquel and Liv were teasing tension back in January, and then they kind of moved away from it. Roxanne was kind of in an interesting place, and then she disappeared, and now she's back. As long as she doesn't get cursed by Danhausen, she should be fine, because she's been suffering a lot of bad luck lately. She actually looked like she took a bad fall on, I think it was Raw this week. Sol Ruca landed right on her. What was up with that?
She needs to be put in fucking bubble wrap and yeah. So Ruka did like a backflip and then like fucking smoked her. I'm like, oh my god, here we go again.
Poor woman. Yeah, I know. Like, my god,
she got destroyed, and then fucking Raquel rolled over to her. I'm like, oh god, for the love of God, she can't be hurt again.
I know, but she did also walk out on her own with the rest of Judgment Day, so she should be fine. I haven't heard anything. Hopefully,
bubble wrap her up, people.
I agree. Before we get to Rhea and Jade, I will mention this real quick, because I did mention his name. Danhausen did make an appearance. He was the star of the weekend. He was very popular all over Vegas as far as making the rounds. Saw a lot of Danhausen shirts and fucking face paint and shit. You knew he was going to make his presence felt. He was out there with Cena, taking out Kit Wilson and The Miz. I love this. A lot of people love this. I know you did not. I just want to get your quick 2 cents on it, though.
It was just a waste of fucking 10 minutes. You could have put Io and fucking Oscar in this 10-minute slot. I mean, I know people like him and he's over. It just didn't need to happen. Like the whole he came out, he had to get the fucking tank thingy, and he took a sweet ass time. He had the midgets.
Yeah,
they called the midgets.
They did. Michael Cole did say that. Yeah,
Michael Cole said that like 10 times. It just was just a waste of time. The show got over early enough. It could have got over before 9 o'clock. Honestly, if we didn't have this garbage. So
no, I think
I like Danhausen in the back.
Okay.
No need for a match. It did
well, there was no match.
Well, he did like the fucking 5-knuckle shuffle
okay.
on the whole fucking 9. No need.
No, I enjoyed this. You got to get a little sports entertainment in there. I get why this is very polarizing as far as whether you like it or hate it. I totally get it. I love this. I think the Danhausen stuff is great. Not that everything is amazing that he does, but I enjoyed this for what it was. And wild that he went from getting booed in his debut at Chamber to sharing the ring with John Cena and getting a massive babyface reaction. It's just a crazy turnaround. And I think it is safe to say he is, people joke, oh, Tony fumbled. I'm telling you right now, I know you were never the biggest Danhausen fan, but I think Tony Khan fumbled with Danhausen. He had him for 3 or 4 years and did jack shit with him. Whereas WWE in the span of 1 month has already made him one of their biggest merch sellers in the entire company, which is pretty unreal.
For the fact he actually hasn't really done anything, I would say that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What has he hasn't. I think he wrestled 1 match and he's done a lot of backstage stuff. The fact that he's a big. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't really see the overall appeal, but they've, like you said, they're using him more than Tony ever did, and it's kind of crazy how I guess over he is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a better fit for WWE than AEW, but I mean, they could have used him early on in AEW when they brought him in and they was doing some stuff with Orange Cassidy that was entertaining. I don't know. I mean, I guess it was because he was friends with Punk, so they just kind of iced him out and never fucking used the guy. I don't know. Then they extended his deal. It's just crazy. But yeah, no, good for him. I don't know how long it's going to last. It could probably peter out at some point and he'll lose a lot of steam. But for now, they're riding that wave and good for them. Last 2 matches here, Mr. Marceau. We're almost done here. Rhea and Jade, WWE Women's title. I'll throw this to you first. What were your thoughts on the match and did it exceed your expectations?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was probably one of Jade's best matches she's had so far in WWE. Mm-hmm. I was kind of anti-Rhea winning, but I honestly didn't mind it. The baddies came out to help Jade. Out comes Io. Io lays them out. Rhea hits her riptide. 1, 2, 3. No, I thought it was a good match. I mean, 10 minutes. It felt. I feel like it felt a little bit longer than that.
In a good way, yeah.
In a good way, but no, I thought I was kind of anti-Rhea winning, but I felt like I don't know, it felt right. I felt like the fans liked it. Jade had a really good match, and Rhea winning, I enjoyed it. So
yeah,
her and Io officially going their separate ways. It feels like after Raw. So she's SmackDown bound, and I assume we'll probably get a rematch with Jade coming up. So
yeah,
maybe Jade will get the belt back as soon as Backlash, because Io's not going to be around to help her. So no, I thought it was a good moment. Her kind of getting out of the. She did some kind of reversal into the riptide that was really creative that I've never seen before. So that was good. It got her and Io together. Io got somewhat of a WrestleMania moment with Rhea after the kind of the big year they had together. And that was one of the better matches of both nights. So
I agree. Yeah, it was actually a really good match, much better than I thought it would be, considering the build was bad and boring and not good. She actually pulled out. Jade did a one-winged angel at one point too, which was pretty fucking crazy. I'm like, holy shit, did she just do a one-winged angel? I thought it was actually Swerve's finisher at first, but it was actually Kenny Omega's as a little nod to him, which was nice. Did the reaction for Io come across as loud on TV as it did in person? Because she got a fucking huge pop.
It was loud.
She's really over, even though she didn't wrestle, which is bullshit, but we talked about that. It's all about the aftermath, right? I mean, the SmackDown Women's Division is in such a fucking dire straits right now. They kind of have to fix that shit up. I wanted Jade to retain, but Rhea winning is fine too. They just have to fix that division and give these women some real challengers when their feud is over. Because like you said, it's probably continuing. After that, though, they got to really start building up some new women, like build Tiffany back up to face Rhea, which we've never seen. Jordan Grace and Rhea would be cool. Julia, I don't know if she's damaged goods, but you could try again with her. There's some women there. They just have to actually try and make some interesting programs on SmackDown.
Yeah, no, I think SmackDown needs kind of like a reset now that Road Dogg's gone. I feel like they need an overall overhaul.
Yeah.
Very similar word there. But yeah, I think they do need some kind of revamp. So Rhea winning the belt, maybe a little fresh blood there. No, I think just overall it needs some kind of new freshness.
Totally agree. Hopefully we see some them hit the reset button tonight on SmackDown. But last match here, Roman Reigns and CM Punk, polar opposite from the Night 1 main event. This was fantastic. Dave Meltzer, actually, I'm glad we're recording today because it came out this morning. That we would not have talked about this yesterday, but Meltzer rated this 5 stars. And again, given what it's worth, I mean, it's Dave Meltzer, and he gives things 7 stars and fucking 2 stars that we think are good. I think it's justified. Dave Meltzer does not often give matches 5 stars, and he gave this one 5 stars. The build was really good. It had a great big fight feel. Roman come out with the old music, which was cool. Punk coming out with the Ring of Honor music was awesome. The entrances were amazing. This is why I don't care about they gave the entrances 20 minutes. Well, if they're fucking good, then who gives a shit? It's WrestleMania. And then the match was great. They gave it a bunch of time. Trading of the finishers is what it is, but I don't know. I feel bad saying this, and I tweeted this on Monday, but it gave me Rock Austin vibes. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying that it gave me Rock Austin vibes in the sense that they beat the shit out of each other. You could feel the hate, but you could also kind of sense the respect. Goes both ways. Wasn't a fan of the outcome, but that was really largely... I still don't think Roman should have won. But if this is all leading to Oba beating Roman, and Roman will be around until SummerSlam, like he's defending against Fatu at Backlash, which is sick, then I'm okay with it. And they didn't have any bullshit. No bloodline interference. Punk did hit a low blow at one point, which was interesting. I don't know if he's going heel or what that was about. But beyond that, this wasn't overbooked. No interference. Clean finish. Show's over. Love that. Did you think this was as good as everyone else is saying as well?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a really good match. I'm surprised he didn't cry. I saw a lot of people crying about the steel step spot. Didn't bother me. I didn't care. It's the fucking main event of WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm not gonna fucking. Oh my god! I mean, like you said, gotta be negative with everything. So that was the one thing. It'd be, that should have been disqualification. Imagine if they called it disqualification. Oh my god! Fucking Twitter would have fucking burned down. They had to get new servers and everything. That match ended in DQ. Holy shit! But no, I thought overall it was a great match. Like I said, hard hitting. A great match overall. Roman winning, I loved it. I'm kind of over Punk, so Roman winning, I loved it. Had my one up. OTC, I got tattooed across my back. Love that shit. But no, Roman winning was great. Seeming we're getting him and Fatu. Fucking lap that shit up. Yep. I kind of don't want Jacob losing, but I guess we'll see what happens. I love the little bloodline reunion with the Usos. I feel like they're kind of lost in the shuffle. So, hey, bring him out with Roman again. We'll fucking nostalgia, get Solo back. Might as well. Do the whole fucking blood. We're only in the 5th inning, so we still got 4 more innings left of the bloodline stuff. So right. Heyman's coming back probably. Mm-hmm. But no, I thought this was great. Definitely the best match of the weekend.
Yeah.
Roman winning, like I said, if he's back for actually gonna wrestle, I love it. Punk, like I said, teasing with him and Cody eventually. Thought that was fine. But yeah, no, overall, I thought this saved the weekend for most people, and I thought it was a great ending. Just a great match. Roman on top, one up, and it was great.
I think honestly, I thought night 2 was great. I thought night 1 I enjoyed. I thought it was a good show. People won't agree, but it's fine. I know you said the same thing as far as it being fine. I genuinely think this main event took this Mania from being like solid or a mixed bag to good territory. I'm not going to say it's like the greatest Mania of all time. It's not top 5. It's not even top 10, I would say. I would say this was a good Mania, probably somewhere in the middle. Was that kind of your overall takeaway too, as far as like it ended the weekend on a high note, aside from Raw, which was enjoyable too. But it's so hard to rank these 2-night Manias because there's so many fucking matches and there's 2 nights now. There's so many Manias to rank these days. This is not a Mania I'll go sit back and watch again tomorrow. I will go back and watch this match at some point. I have not seen it back on TV. I just thought it was great, and I thought it kind of brought the overall show up, and this is what we want out of a WrestleMania main event. Just 2 guys beating the shit out of each other with a good story, clean finish, no bullshit if you don't need it. Like, Cody and Roman made sense at 40. You don't need that every fucking year. Like, last year we were waiting for Travis Scott, and it was garbage, or we were waiting for Rock, he didn't show up. We weren't waiting for anyone here. I thought the Usos might show up. I'm glad they didn't. I think this kind of brought up the overall WrestleMania into good territory. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I thought this was, like I said, I thought this was the perfect ending to the night. Like I said, people were happy. I was happy. Yeah. So just like I said, overall, the stigma from night 1 was kind of wiped away at that point. Because like night 2, we had the same amount of commercials, and you didn't really, it was more of a night 1 thing. Like I said, I feel like night 2, like, same amount of commercials. Maybe it wasn't overly as long like as a show, but I feel like the right people won. The matches, I just felt like they had more energy. I will say, I also like how like they did like night 1 was like that like kind of like rustic look to it, and night 2 was like that blue shiny like they kind of like they were doing that in the posters, and like I guess they kind of like each night had its own like little theme, which I thought was pretty neat too. But yeah, I thought, like I said, end of the show was great. Roman won. Rhea, like I said, another big win. I feel like we just got a lot of big wins. I feel like the people that we want to see won, so just like no one was going to leave pissed. Like Oba won, Penta won, Trick won, Finn Balor won as the Demon, Rhea, Roman. Like, what could you complain about?
Yeah, I mean, there were some new faces. Oba was a big deal, like you said. Trick is, rising up. Javon, I thought, looked great in that ladder match. Penta won, which was cool. Roman's kind of like nothing new, but I don't have an issue with it. If I could see the forest through the trees here, if that's the expression, as far as like, all right, I'm fine with it if they actually put the belt on Oba. I think Oba beating Roman is a bigger match and a bigger moment than Oba beating Punk. It's just, and I think Punk's amazing, but I just think him beating Roman would be even bigger. So hopefully it's where they're going with it. But yeah, I thought it was a good weekend in wrestling. Any closing thoughts here, Mr. Marceau, of stuff that we did not get to?
No, I thought overall it was good. Like you said, I think if all roads lead to Oba beating Roman at like SummerSlam, I have no complaints.
Yeah, me neither. I think it's going to be a fun road there. We got Fatu and Roman in the meantime, like you said. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's a massive match. Am I disappointed? Oh, it's not at a Mania? Yeah, a little bit, but it's like you can't save everything for the big stages. I think you got to give Backlash some big matches too, and that's already shaping up to be a pretty good show. If they're doing Roman and Fatu and probably Io and Asuka, I don't even know what the need. I don't even need to know what the rest of the card looks like. I'm sold for those 2 matches alone. And it's coming up quickly, so we'll talk about it as it approaches. But new episodes of WrestleRant Radio every single Thursday right here on YouTube, but also on WrestleRant.com, WrestleRantRadio.com, and all major podcast platforms. One last time, shout out to the channel members: Alexis, Miss Mon Matthews, Dylan Giacomo, Mrs. Renee, Daniel Malcolm at I'm Quarter on X, DJ Swerve1 at Swerve1 on IG, Mr. Marceau at RJ_Marceau on X, John Ritlin, Real Honest with John Ritlin on YouTube, Richie Red Planet Wrestling on YouTube, and Average Grunt at gruntwrestling.bluesky.social on Blue Sky. More information in the down below. Be sure to like the video on your way out and subscribe and turn on notifications for every time we're live here on WrestleRant Radio, typically on Thursdays. The rare week we're on a Friday, it just kind of worked out better scheduling-wise for this week. But we'll be back next week talking about God knows what. We have Backlash predictions coming up in 2 weeks. It's coming up too quickly. And then, Mr. Marceau, in 3 weeks' time, I am seeing you for the big fight. It is a boys' day. We're running it back for Rousey and Carano. You better roll the red carpet out for me. I'll be there at 9 a.m. Eastern time, right on the dot.
I'm vacuuming the red carpet as we speak.
Looking forward to it, brother. But yeah, this has been a great time, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we'll be right back here next week with more talk in the wrestling world. So until then, guys, have an awesome one. For Mr. Marceau, I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and we'll catch your ass down the road.
Join Graham GSM Matthews and RJ Marceau every Thursday as they run down their weekly wrestling rants, offer expert analysis, host exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe today on all your favorite podcast platforms and never miss an episode of WrestleRant Radio.